It's Lupac, baby, in the building.
The truth teller in the building.
The pressure bringer in the building.
If you rockin' with Pac,
Make some noise. Yeah, if you got them receipts,
put it on the floor.
if you got that truth,
Put it on the floor.
if you rockin' with Lupac,
Put it on the floor.
hey, 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 hey. One time for the realest, bitch. Two times for the coldest, bitch. Three times for the bossed up, bitch.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Yeah, that's Lupac, bitch.
One time for Lupac, baby.
Let's go.
Two times for Lupac, baby.
That's right.
Three times for Lupac, baby.
Burn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
It's Lupac,
Baby.
walk in, whole room in a G-shift. Truth talk heavy, she don't ever miss. Stand on facts, yeah, she stand on 10. When Pac touch down, pressure step in. Spotlight glow when she hit that live. Whole chat lit when she drop that vibe. No fake love, only real ones roll. Lupac run the scene, that's how it goes. Clock that T receipts on sight. Drop one post on that ignite. Talk that truth, she don't play nice. Put it on the floor, expose that light. Go Lupac,
Go, go, Lupac, go, go.
go Lupac, go. Put it on the floor, Pac. Put it on the floor. Time for the realest, bitch. Two times for the coldest, bitch. Three times for the bossed up, bitch.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Yeah, that's Lupac, bitch.
One time for Lupac, baby.
Hey, oh,
Two times for Lupac, baby.
that's right. Oh,
Three times for Lupac, baby.
turn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
It's Lupac, baby. Truth in her voice, yeah, the crowd gon' lean. When she clock them receipts, know she mean what she mean. No cap stories, she dismantle the fake. Every live she hit, make the whole chat shake. From the boot energy to worldwide view. Lupac, baby, got nothing to prove. Stand tall, crown never tilt. Pressure too heavy, whole lane get built. Put it on the floor, 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 put it on the floor.
Go Lupac, go, go Lupac, go. Receipts on the floor, let's go. One time for Lupac, baby. Two times for Lupac, baby.
That's right,
Three times for Lupac, baby.
turn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up. It's Lupac, baby.
If you want some weird shit, stay away. Stay away from me. Period.
No weapon should profit.
No weapon form is going to prosper.
No weapon farm is gonna profit. Thank you, Pastor.
And another thing, if you coming with that drama and that negativity, you know what's going on. Stop playing.
Hold up, hold up.
Hold up.
It's Lupac, baby, in the building.
The truth teller in the building.
The pressure bringer in the building.
If you rockin' with Pac,
Make some noise. Yeah, if you got them receipts,
put it on the floor.
if you got that truth,
Put it on the floor.
if you rockin' with Lupac,
Put it on the floor.
hey, 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 hey. One time for the realest, bitch. Two times for the coldest, bitch. Three times for the bossed up, bitch.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Yeah, that's Lupac, bitch.
One time for Lupac, baby.
Let's go.
Two times for Lupac, baby.
That's right.
Three times for Lupac, baby.
Burn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
It's Lupac,
Baby.
walk in, whole room in a G-shift. Truth talk heavy, she don't ever miss. Stand on facts, yeah, she stand on 10. When Pac touch down, pressure step in. Spotlight glow when she hit that live. Whole chat lit when she drop that vibe. No fake love, only real ones roll. Lupac run the scene, that's how it goes. Clock that T receipts on sight. Drop one post on that ignite. Talk that truth, she don't play nice. Put it on the floor, expose that light. Go Lupac,
Go, go Lupac, go, go.
go Lupac, go. Put it on the floor, Pac. Put it on the floor. Time for the realest, bitch. Two times for the coldest, bitch. Three times for the bossed up, bitch.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Yeah, that's Lupac, bitch.
One time for Lupac, baby.
Hey, oh,
Two times for Lupac, baby.
that's right. Oh,
Three times for Lupac, baby.
turn up.
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Woo!
What she bring?
Fact.
What she talk?
True.
Who they hear? Who they want?
Hooper.
Say it loud.
Yeah.
She don't mumble. Stepping in. Home run, no lie. She dismantle. Every word. Hard handle. Receipts up. No stall. Name ring. Head turn. She say it. That's law. Truth hit. Lesson learned. What she do?
Break it down.
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 Then what she do? Break it down. No spin talk. No fake sound. She don't whisper. She lay it down. Every claim. She press check. Every lie. She correct. Boot state. Backbone strong. Stand firm. 10 toes on. She talk one. That's final. Lupac voice. Undeniable. Yeah.
Break it down.
That's Lupac.
Break it down.
Facts only.
Break it down. Break it down.
Hey, Pac Squad! What's up, y'all? Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for y'all patience. Sorry for the delay, y'all. Like, the weather is going ham, okay? Like, the weather is so bad right now. It just came from out of nowhere, too. Ham was trying to go outside and pop some fireworks because we had got some fireworks yesterday. And soon as my baby put them fireworks on the porch, I'm laughing, but it ain't funny because she was pissed off. I said, we're going to have to wait till later, Tootie, because listen, that rain coming down. Y'all going to be able to hear it because it's not playing. And it knocked our internet out. So I had to kind of wait for it to come back up and, oh, child. But it's back up now, y'all. I was not canceling this live, baby, because this need to get out here. Because I was up late last night combing through receipts on the internet and I found this. Okay, listen, y'all. Y'all know I always find something, but I found some shit. We're gonna get into it too. Hey Terry, bro. Thank you for the copyright and fair use copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as the criticism, common news report, and teacher scholarship and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tip the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you for that because we need it because I want to show a little 1-2 after I show y'all this T first, okay? Hey, Shaquintley. Hey, Keisha T. Hey, Tammy in the building. Eric GG, Miss Yolanda. We got Miss Michelle, Miss Dee Dee, Black Vivian. We got Nene in the building. Miss Ranitha, Miss Angela B. Michaela. Shout out to my green team for looking like shmoney in the chat, baby. Y'all lighting that chat up like the 4th of July. I love that for us. Hey, Miss Yolanda, CJ the Cat. We got Miss Melody, It Don't Matter. Latte, of course. We got Miss Tracy, Scorpio Stings. We got Health the World. Shout out to you. We got, let me see, hold up. Miss Jackie. We got Punana in this thing. Who else in here? Let me go down. Pretty Princess. Shout out to you, T. Stanley. Flo Gotcha. We got No More Drama. We got Manifestations of God. Shout out to you, my love. Miss Jackie H, Miss E, Miss Fila, my love. Shout out to you and all my other beautiful minds that's holding it down and been holding it down since I've been having this little weather difficulty. Okay? Hey, show enough. Hey, Miss Roz, the Tory Experience. We got Miss Carol, Miss Berea, Tyrese with the T, Tierra. We got Love Me For Real, Snooki. Shout out to you. Hey, Miss Hill. Thank you for my first firework on this good old 4th of July, baby. Okay, look at y'all playing with them fireworks in the chat. Art Chapman, shout out to you for 17 months. She said, hello, Lupac in chat. Happy 4th of July. Period. Lamitrius, Manifestations of God. Shout out to you for 3 months. She said, happy 4th of July, everybody. Love you, Pac. Put it on the floor, my Louisiana family. Much love from Houston. The H, baby. Shout out to you. I love you right back, my girl. Miss Patrina, Miss Michelle. Miss Patrina coming through with my second firework. Thank you for that support, my love. Miss Angela B, Miss Renee, dark and lovely. Miss Vonda. We got Crystal. We got Tokyo. We got Brandy in the building. Who else? Candy Girl Pink. We got, let me see, Queen D Money, Queen Wilson. Hey, Queen Wilson. What's up, Frey? Who else in this thing, y'all? We got Wild L23. I love a good sexy New Orleans accent. Unfortunately, I'm not from New Orleans, okay? I'm in the boot, but I'm not in NO, y'all. I'm not in NO, even though people still associate me with the NO. They be like, oh, you sound just like, but if y'all actually hear our accent where I'm at versus theirs is a little more thicker. Okay. Their accent is a little more thicker. Like I got a homegirl that's from New Orleans and we talk completely different. Like you'll be able to tell if you put us side by side. But I get, we all still in Louisiana, so that's probably why people still be like, "Oh, you sound just like people from New Orleans." I guess that's what it is, y'all. Hey, Philly girl, Juice. Let me see, Glam Goddess, Enlighten. All right. She said, "Hey, Pac, I'm driving, so I'll be on Dawn's Branch 8." Shout out to Dawn. Hey, Miss Sharon. Who else in this thing? You say, Luca, keep up the great work, baby girl. Loving you covering the story. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, Miss Cheryl, Nika Ray. Who else? Thank you, Glam Goddess, for that firework. We got Miss Joy. We got I'm her, Miss Lynn. We got Authentic Young Lady. You said I came in right on time. I was thinking I was an hour late. 2 hour late. Hour 2 was delayed. Y'all, it's that weather, y'all. It's that weather, child. But it's all good in the hood. Like I told you, I was not canceling this live, okay? Because I didn't go live yesterday. I was actually doing some research and outside with them kids while they started popping some of the fireworks. So that's why I didn't go live yesterday. What's up, RG and Jerry? I am well. The ancestors popping off their fireworks. Facts. They looking out for Karmelo. They looking out for their baby. Hey, Miss Mel Mel. Hey, Brittany, Tanaya, Miss Jocelyn, Miss Nina in the building. We got PT Meanie. Shout out to all the new people. If y'all see me struggling with the names, it's probably somebody that just started subscribe, that just subbed to the channel. So I gotta, familiarize myself with some of y'all names because they do be a little difficult, child. Hey, Christy. And we're gonna do a collective hey for anybody else that comes through once we get the dialogue started. If you would like to donate to your girl monetarily, if you just want to bless me because you enjoy this commentary, you can cash at me at $Lupac2. You can also buy me a coffee. Shout out to my coffee people. You can also support the platform by getting a super chat or super sticker, aka a firework. Y'all know I always set a little goal. It ain't much, it ain't mandatory, but it is greatly, greatly appreciated because it contributes to the revenue of this particular live stream. You can also support me by getting a membership. Shout out to the money team, the green team, period, my day ones, my OGs, and my in-betweens. Y'all know who y'all are. Thank y'all for holding down the memberships, supporting your girl's platform, baby. Please watch them ads, y'all. Please hit that like button as you come in or out, because y'all know that pushes us out into the algorithm to, get these views. We need to get this advocacy as loud as possible. And at the end of this live, hype your girl up. Y'all know the vibes, child. Y'all know the vibes. All right. Now let's get into it. Cause I almost came live last night to drop this tea on y'all, but it was too late. I say, I don't know if my people up, baby. My people be sleeping. My people be in their bed early. Well, not too early, but for the most part, we be a little early. I know I do at least. So I'll be in that bed like a grandma. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Thank you to everybody for the gifts in the chat. Also, I don't be wanting y'all to feel excluded with the appreciation. So shout out to anybody that sends gifts. It don't get acknowledged as much as the supers because unfortunately, StreamYard doesn't show the gifts on their platform. Like we have to be logged into YouTube. I do have my phone open, so if I see gifts and stuff like that, I will shout y'all out or thank y'all in the chat as we, go through the dialogue. So shout out to anybody that sends gifts. I appreciate all of the love, baby. All right, y'all. So I was, looking through receipts and looking through, because y'all know with this case, it's a lot of secrets, right? It's literally zero transparency outside of the very calculated things that the prosecution placed on Juneteenth. Y'all know that, in my opinion, that was calculated. How they threw that little manipulated, not scripted, y'all, spliced up, manipulated, edited video on Juneteenth. They just threw it out here. But we know we see the play, baby. We ain't no dummies over here. We see the play, we see the play. But a couple things that they still have yet to unhand is the autopsy. Now, y'all, I've been hearing this in the streets. I don't know about y'all. Let me know if y'all heard this too. But I heard that it's not one autopsy, but two, allegedly. According to the streets, the YouTube lawyers and detectives and what have you, autopsy was done per procedure, per standard reasons or whatever, and then the dad, Jeff Metcalf, ended up doing another one off of his own dime. I don't know how true that is, but y'all know the streets be talking, okay? So, and it kind of makes you wonder. It kind of makes you think if it's some validity to it, because why haven't they released it? That's a part of public records, baby. Once a situation goes to the state, the government, or whatever, and then a conviction happens, sentencing happens, or whatever, all of that information is supposed to be public record. Everything, y'all, including the trial transcript. So because it's not public record, because the AG over there in Texas, the Attorney General, threw a little quick one, caught a little interception and blocked off the paperwork technically without an excuse, like with no reason. He over there acting like the Supreme Court. How you blocking ish from the public that technically belongs to us, and not really giving us no reason as to why. But I said all of that to say, y'all, is because we don't have the actual court transcripts. All we can really go off of is mainstream media being in courts in real time. You remember, y'all, they had, according to people, some bloggers, Nika Knight, Queen Sheba, the ones that was in court, they had they people pick, right? They didn't really let any black nothing in that thing. Outside of Cody Thomas with Court TV, I think he was the only niggero in Bishop Eli's voice. I think he was the only niggero in that thing, y'all. Outside of, they had like 25 seats for general public. And according to the people that was boots on the ground, like Nika and Queen Sheba and them, they had to fight for them 25 seats because the families had designated seats and more family members start showing up and they was giving them the seats for general public. So they literally had to be up there for the crack of dawn to try to get a seat, y'all. So what I combed through last night was from, let me pull it up. Hold on. Y'all, wait till y'all see this. Hold up. Let me pull it up from my email. 1 second. Make sure y'all hit that like button, and please don't be stingy with my gold, baby. Show me some love. All right, let's pull this up. That's one. Wait, I'm missing one. I think this is two. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it together. Okay, that's 4. Wait, let me see which ones that I opened. School teenage, what I saw. All right. What I saw. Where's the other one? Okay, that's this one. Open. All right, hold on, y'all. Trying to pull them on the screen. I got one more set. Yes, I gotta show y'all this too. Open. Just 1 or 2 images. 1, 2. All right, 3. Okay. I gotta pull everything up so I can present it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got this one up there twice. All right. Okay. I had to put all my stuff on the screen. Now let me pull up one thing first. Is this the first one? Hold up, y'all. see which one I want to go with first. Okay, first goes who's seen as the comedian after he was crying. Who was the witness? Centennial. Loud voices. They were looking back. The witness said he walked. Okay, and then it's where's my other one? Hold on, y'all. Cross examination. Yes, sir. Okay. I think this is the first one. Two teenage witnesses. All right. So I'm gonna put this one up first. And this came from, let me make it smaller. Wait, I want y'all to be able to see it. So I probably could leave it like this. Let me see if I can make it a little, probably can make it bigger and just scroll. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. This came from, I think, CBS, Texas, or one of those news, mainstream media. Oh, I done dropped my, hold on, y'all. One of those mainstream media news stations, news places in Texas. I think it was either CBS or NBC or something like that, but it's in Texas, right? And don't be y'all. Listen, don't be fooled. I personally think after doing my research and noticing a certain pattern of how these mainstream media's been putting out this information involving this trial, baby, they in on the plot too. And we're gonna say allegedly because we wasn't there. But based on my research and seeing how even when it comes down to whenever the trial was actually going on, if you actually look at how they was putting the information out, they was very descriptive of what the prosecution was saying in court. And then when it come down to what the defense said in cross and their statements or presentations, it was bare minimum, right? It was bare minimum because they didn't want, and I look at it like this. They didn't want they didn't want the people that's actually in tune to this case to have questions or reasonable doubt like the jury. Okay? They didn't want that to happen. So I should show y'all an example. Maybe later, because y'all know my time be running away. Maybe once we get on the live, 2 hours get here so quick. But they knew exactly what they was doing. For the ones in the back that keep saying, "Oh, so y'all saying all of these people in on it for one little black boy?" Yes, yes. I don't think people realize how deep this situation is. Like it's politics involved. Y'all see what they reporting on the state representative? What is his name, y'all? Something Fallon. Like politics is all up and through this thing. They even saying now, and I'm gonna have to do my research on it, but this is coming from some platforms I believe to be credible. That allegedly the son of Pat, I mean, is his name Pat? Whatever his name is, some Fallon. His son was allegedly there also. And shout out to Secret Service Sam because I seen he showed where his son was very much on the roster for that track meet. So that's interesting. That's real interesting. But it just shows how deep this situation really, really is. And y'all need to go check out the Public Opinions Court, Thelma Anderson. She got a YouTube and she literally broke down the connection, showing who's all connected within this situation, from politician to judge to attorney general to the DA. Like she showed the connections, y'all. It's crazy. Okay. All right. So let me go here first. So this was actually one of the witness testimonies, right? I'm about to show y'all how this is why, as y'all can see within my caption, this is one of the reasons why Karmelo's trial transcript is sealed. Because that transcript literally exposes what they did in court and how they railroaded him. And this has a lot to do with the video footage also, y'all. Don't ask me how I put 2 and 2 together with this, but y'all gonna see once I break it down. I said, damn, I be on point. Let me pat myself on the back. Not too much, like my baby say. All right, so This was a testimony. Two teenage witnesses testified for the defense on the 7th day of trial. Anthony, 19, of Frisco, has pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder in the April 2nd, 2025 unaliving of Austin Metcalf, 17, and claims he acted in self-defense. Let's go up. Collin County District Judge John Roach has asked the media not to identify the young witnesses. Now, let me speak to that because, even though I wasn't going to speak to it, but I feel like I have to. The fact that he asked the people not to identify asked the media not to identify the young witnesses when Karmelo was 17 when it happened, and they had his face and name plastered all over the news. All over. Then they had it identified as a murder, and they didn't have allegedly or none of that. They just knew he did it. That baby gonna have so many damn lawsuits. Oh, child, listen. They thought the Anthonys had a little coin prior to this situation, but baby, when all of this is said and done, oh yeah, he gonna have a little nice coin. He gonna have a little nice coin, baby, because they had this minor plastered all over the news as a murderer. They didn't say homicide, which that's how they're supposed to label it prior. Because remember, when and I'm talking about back in April of 2025, when it first hit, Karmelo had never been to trial. He had never been to trial for them to label it a murder. If we know what the definition of murder means, the news is supposed to label that as a homicide. Because that baby had never been to court. He wasn't convicted of anything. But that's how this got, they want to know how this really got out of hand and got messy. That's how. Because of Fox 4, and I will be suing the draws off their ass if I was the Anthonys. Because that's how it really got to the level that it is. Why they trying to blame Karmelo Anthony supporters by saying, oh, they brought race into it and they made it about race and it was never about race. Baby, it been about race since the beginning. It was about race long before a Karmelo Sincere Anthony was born. Let's not do that. But it's just the audacity for me, y'all. It's literally the audacity because you got the nerve you got the nerve to protect the other witnesses, but they had zero protection for, and even though I don't cover these type of cases often, we all done seen news stories and, stuff like that. When it hits media, for the most part, the kids are almost always protected because it's not like adults committing crimes. It's children, right? It's children. So I just don't, anyways, let's keep going. So it says 17-year-old Centennial High School student. Centennial is where Karmelo went, y'all. And teammate testified that Anthony appeared emotional and was crying after the poking. Let's keep going. He was, and y'all see it's in quotes, so this is the witness testimony. He was crying and there was a coach comforting him. The witness said, I would say distraught is the best way to describe it. The witness explained the Centennial track team was in a dugout of a nearby baseball field to shelter from rain and that Anthony went to the tent of Memorial High School. Let's keep going. I heard loud voices over there, and when I looked, y'all, pay attention right here, because he's literally given, and this poor baby was literally bullied out of what he's seen. And I'm going to show y'all how later, okay? He said, I heard loud voices over there, and when I looked, people were not facing the field anymore, he said. They were looking back. Meaning they was all up under the canopy, right? The witness said he walked towards the memorial tent when he saw someone's arm arms reach out and saw a push into Anthony. Let's keep going. Remember, he was in the people from Centennial, because they didn't have a tent, and the coach from Centennial testified that because he was responsible for making sure those kids had a tent, but because they didn't have one, they was under a dugout, not far from where the bleachers were. Okay, so they wasn't far from there. But let's keep going. Notice how the witness said he walked towards the memorial tent when he saw someone's arms reach out and saw a push into Anthony. Remember this part, y'all. Remember this part, because where he was in that moment is going to expose what I'm finna show y'all. Okay? Where he was in that moment, he walked towards the memorial tent when he saw someone's arms reach out and saw a push. So that means he was right there. He was in the vicinity of the Austin canopy. So he was literally right there, and he saw the push. He saw the push happen. What I saw was Austin pull up his shirt and say he got poked. He testified, adding he did not see the poking. Now, y'all keep in mind, this is why I don't understand how Karmelo got the conviction he got, for one. Let's start there. Because damn near every witness testimony, like when the defense crossed them, and that's another reason why they got that transcript sealed, y'all, because you're gonna see, they don't want us to see how, and even with the little stuff we are seeing from mainstream media, you can clearly see, and along with the people that was boots on the ground that was able to go to the trial, they literally said that all of those witness statements were inconsistent. See, in this case, two things could be true at once. And y'all know, if you've been rocking with Pac, I say this a lot, right? That two things can be true at once. And this, in this case, is a very rare statement, right? All of those witness statements were very similar, but they were also very, very different. And the reason why I say that is because we know they were coached. We know that they were prepped. They were told what to say, allegedly, because we wasn't there, but you can tell by what they testified to. Okay? You could tell by what they testified to, because I even read the statement, the testimony that Edwin Parra gave, and his initial witness statement that the police took from him the day of it happening. He said that Austin pushed Karmelo so hard that he kind of flew back, right? That was in his initial testimony. Why he got his ass on the stand and said he didn't recall saying that. This is why I don't understand how the jury was able to come up with this murder conviction. Because those witness testimonies was some booty, okay? Complete ass. And you could tell that those cheering, and I don't blame the witnesses, because when you put in that type of hostile environment, you might as well throw them kids in the hood with some gangsters and OGs, baby. Because that's definitely equivalent to them being in that room with them prosecutors. You got to know, if you know anything about the legal field and anything about how these prosecutors give it up, oh yeah, oh yeah, baby. They wasn't playing with them kids, making sure them kids say what was needed to be said on their stand to solidify a guilty verdict. Period, point blank. Okay, let's keep going. But y'all remember that. Remember where this witness said he was when he saw the push. He walked towards the memorial tent when he saw someone's arm reach out and saw a push into Anthony. He said, what I saw was Austin pull up his shirt and say he got poked. He testified, adding he did not see the poking, right? Now, mind you, a few of the prosecutor's witnesses, they said that Austin said he poked me. And then you got the other half of witnesses said that Austin said, I think I've been poked. So which one is it? Which one is it? Did he say I think I've been poked, or I got stabbed, or he stabbed me, or which one is it? Let's keep going. I think this is the end of this one. All right, let me take this one down, y'all. But make sure y'all remember. Somebody put it in the chat for me. Somebody write that part. Type that part in the chat where this witness said he walked towards the memorial tent when he saw someone's arm reach out and saw a push. Write that down. Or just type witness was right by memorial tent. Just put that part. All right, let's take this down and go to the prosecutor. The man of the hour, y'all. Let's put up his cross-examination so we can expose the game real quick. Let's put that up. Hold on, let me find it, child. Wait, what's this? This the one? Hold on, y'all. Okay, this is the one I need. This is the one I need. All right. Can y'all see it? Yeah. Or is it too big? I might have to bring it down in size one time. Hold on, let me shrink it just a little. Thank you, Scorpio. All right, let me put that. Oh, Crystal had it first. Okay, hold on. Let me shrink it just a little, y'all. All right, that's better. Okay, now let's get into the prosecutor's cross, right? Because you know, anytime you call witnesses, the prosecutor has an opportunity to cross-examine, just like the defense if the prosecution calls witnesses. So it says, and this is the part that we left off on, so we don't have to read that part. Let's go up a little. Okay, so it says, on cross-examination, Collin County First Assistant District Attorney Bill Werski challenged the witnesses' earlier statements that Anthony was surrounded before the poking. Oh, let me tell y'all about that, okay? So apparently, I should have pulled up, well, I don't think it had that part, but let me tell y'all about that, y'all. So apparently, one or two, because I don't have the other one, but I think both of these witnesses testified that Karmelo was surrounded before the poking. So that's when the prosecution drilled that baby into, basically saying you didn't see what you said you seen. Let's get to the tea. Let's expose the prosecution real quick. So, thank you, Lakeisha. Thank you for that firework, my love. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. I don't know if this is your first time over here, but welcome. Welcome to the Pop Squad. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Lakeisha. She's been doing her big one on this also. Okay, y'all know I've been in her lives. I've been talking about watching her content, her Freezy, all of them. Okay, so yeah, we've been doing our big one, baby. All right, y'all. So it says on cross-examination, Collin County First Assistant District Attorney Bill Werski challenged the witnesses' earlier statements that Anthony was surrounded before the poking. Y'all know what that means, right? And the crazy part is, just off of our little investigation, we know he was surrounded before the poking. Shout out to all the witnesses of the Frisco ISD video. So that baby wasn't confused. He saw exactly what he said he saw. But they strong-armed him out of his testimony. Hold on. So prosecutors showed surveillance footage. Here's what we clocked that T, y'all, and we exposed prosecution. Prosecutors showed surveillance footage that appeared to show the witness was not looking toward the memorial tent when the poking occurred. Let's see who can figure it out. Let's see who can figure it out in the chat. I'm going to give y'all 2 minutes, and then I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Just off of what I read, y'all, prosecutors showed surveillance footage that appeared to show the witness was not looking toward the memorial tent when the poking occurred. Who can figure it out? Thank you, Red B. This is why they got them transcripts sealed, y'all. No, Nate, it's not the edited video. We know in that. I mean, of course that, but not just look at what I just read to y'all. This is why those transcripts are sealed. Well, one of the reasons. Hey, Nene. Hey, sister. Shout out to real Nene the GOAT. No, let me tell y'all. Let me read it again. It says prosecutors showed surveillance footage that appeared to show the witness not looking toward the memorial tent when the poking occurred. Now, y'all remember, I literally read the testimony of said witness that was right by the memorial tent when he said he seen a push happen, right? If the prosecutor only had blurry footage, right? Now, let's see if y'all can pick up what I'm putting down. If they only had blurry footage, remember, they gave us a spliced up, manipulated, edited video. How the hell was they able to be not only pinpoint this witness by the memorial tent, but they was also able to see that he wasn't even looking when the poking happened? That alone shows that they have very, very clear footage. How was they able to show surveillance footage in court that appeared to show the witness was not looking toward? You know how clear it would have to be for them to be able to not only see his face, but to see that he wasn't even looking in that direction? Remember, they showed us blobs. Their footage was literally altered and manipulated and spliced up. But they was able to pinpoint this witness in that footage, y'all, and show the jury his face not looking towards the poking. Remember, he was right in front of the memorial tent. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Picture of the other tent. Right? How would they know who he was? Exactly, Nay. Exactly. Not only did they knew who he was, but they was able to show surveillance right in front of the memorial tent, because that's where the witness said he was when he seen the he didn't see the poking, of course, but he seen the confrontation. He seen arms being swung, right? He was right in front of the memorial tent. So prosecution pulled up a video showing that his head wasn't looking towards the memorial tent when the poking occurred. How was they able to see that when they gave us a spliced up, manipulated, edited video? How was they able to see that face? And not let alone which direction the face was looking at, when we can't even make out if its body is in the video. We can't even make that out, y'all. Like, with their video that they showed the jury, the editing was so bad, right? And remember, the video editor testified on the stand that prosecution only wanted him to focus on Karmelo. They only wanted, that was calculated. They only wanted him to focus on Karmelo. And notice now, with us, the YouTube detectives and lawyers, etc., we are literally seeing all of this other activity going on, because in their minds, they think we dumb child. They think, we just gonna go with the flow and we gonna just focus on Karmelo, what they showed us. That's why Karmelo was highlighted. But like I said, the exposure comes in with this situation, because how was the prosecutor able to show a clear, it had to be clear as hell for them to be able to show not only was this little boy, like, they literally showed surveillance of his head not looking toward the memorial tent when the poking occurred. How? Because they have a clearer, they literally have it, y'all. They have it. I even found proof that Karmelo's attorney seen the Frisco ISD video. I'm gonna show y'all that too. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all that too. Oh, but let me finish showing y'all where he strong-armed that baby, okay? But y'all, they have clear footage. How the hell was the prosecutor able to show surveillance footage in court that appeared to show the witness was not looking toward the memorial tent when that poking occurred? You know how clear that footage had to be for them to pinpoint that his head wasn't looking in that direction? You know how clear that had to be? They got some good ass cameras over there, y'all. Hence why all of those Frisco ISD witnesses are stating that they seen a 4K video. They seen it. And Mike Howard has seen it too. And that's another thing that supports ineffective assistance of counsel. Because notice nothing else been mentioned about that well, at least not from the defense. We haven't heard anything about that clear video, but it was posted in 2025. See, a lot of people ain't going back and look for them 2025 receipts. Them 2025 receipts tell a lot, y'all. Y'all know I told y'all I've been digging back in 2025 because if you go back and look, it literally shows that most of the people in that area of Texas didn't even believe Karmelo was going to be convicted, let alone get 35 damn years. They didn't believe it. And guess who else seen that Frisco ISD video? Why they trying to make it seem like these witnesses that's coming out speaking saying they seen it is crazy. WFAA, they seen it too. Matter of fact, one of their journalists did a whole breakdown of seeing the video. He showed, like, he literally, y'all, they sent a whole camera crew out there showing the process of them going view the Frisco ISD video back in 2025. And like I told y'all, a lot of mainstream media connected to this situation, especially mainstream media that's in Texas, I personally think they in on it too. Remember, somebody had to let me not say that because I think it was Frisco who edited Karmelo's mugshot. And we're going to get into that too because they're the ones who initially put it out. They're the ones who initially put it out. I thought it was the mainstream media who edited at first, Fox 4, but it wasn't them. It was Frisco because keep in mind, Frisco is the ones who took the image, right? And if you go to 20, like news articles from 2025, if you look at the bottom, it shows the photo credit. It shows the photo credit, y'all. And I'm about to show y'all something crazy too. I'm about to show y'all a video in a few to show y'all how it was edited. Shout out to TikTok. Hold on. Hold up. All right. Let me finish reading this to y'all. And then we're going to keep going. But y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. This further shows how that baby was railroaded. How the hell the prosecutors got and this shows why everything is remaining to be sealed. Why it's still sealed, y'all. Because they had a clear that how clear that video had to have been surveillance footage right in front of memorial tents. It was from a front angle. You know how clear that had to have been for them to pinpoint a witness who he was and the fact that his face wasn't looking towards the memorial tent. You know how clear that have to be? Like, it's clear as the videos, all the other angles they put out. Let's just say that. It's clear as that. The only video that was blurry was the one that actually shows what happened under the canopy. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, y'all. But I said, when I was combing through these receipts last night, I said, oh, so y'all can see all of that, but y'all had to manipulate the one with the altercation. That's interesting. Y'all intentionally zoomed in and pixelated and blobbed and spliced up the one with the altercation. But when y'all need people to see these boys' faces, y'all know how to make sure they see faces. Ain't that interesting, y'all? Okay, let's keep going. So, the prosecution says, my impression when we first met, you was that, this must be a typo. You thought when you saw Karmelo surrounded, it was before the poking. Worse, he asked. And the witness said, yes, sir, the witness said. So then the prosecution says, that was actually after the poking, ? Worski asks. When you and I met, you told me you thought it was before the poking. See how he's strong? It ain't over, but see how he's strong arming that baby, y'all? He saw exactly what he said he saw. We seen it too. You can clearly see, even in their manipulated video, that Karmelo was surrounded. So why would they get, now I see why they don't be wanting them kids to testify. Because why would they make it seem like that baby didn't see Karmelo surrounded before the poking? You know why? Because they painted a case to make it seem as though it was just a one-on-one situation between Karmelo and Austin. That's why they had to try to discredit this witness. Let's keep going. So he says, I could not really tell, the witness responded. I thought it was as the poking was happening. You thought right, baby. If y'all watching, if any of y'all witnesses is watching, because I'm pretty sure they paying attention to this. Because y'all, imagine the people that's connected to this that knows this is wrong. I hope and pray every person's that has a hand in this, that has a hand in this corruption, that has a hand in this baby sitting in jail wrongfully. Not if you did the right thing, but every person that had a hand in this flawed ass conviction, I hope you can't sleep until this baby get out of jail. I hope your mind is, I hope you have idle thoughts like the Bible, okay? I hope your guilty ass conscience eats you up. Eat y'all up. Because child. Ain't no way in hell, y'all. A person that can do something like this, or people that can do something like this and have a hand in something like this, ain't no way in hell they should still be able to sleep at night. Especially not now. You know, if they some effed up people, then that's different. But good-hearted people, genuine people, y'all know when they do something wrong, when you a good person and you do something wrong, your conscience eats you alive. It's only the ones that's used to doing jacked up shit that can still sleep and sleep with a smile with they crusty ass to the fan. Okay? Only them. But I hope and pray, y'all. Man, when everybody go to sleep tonight, make sure y'all say a prayer. Now, we ain't wishing no harm. Okay? We don't do that here. But we make sure y'all, I feel like this is rightfully so. I feel like this is a righteous prayer to God. We're going to pray. When we go to bed tonight, we're going to pray and ask God that every single person that was a part of this corruption, that had a hand in this corruption, that they cannot rest, that they are uneased, that they guilty mind, guilty idle thoughts, eat them up until somebody breaks and comes forth with the whole truth, or somebody's, because they don't deserve to rest. Ain't no way in hell these people, you got attorneys all over the world, criminal defense attorneys all over the world, judges that saying this is wrong, that saying he was railroaded, that saying it was over since jury selection. All over the world, whites and black, might I have you, okay? Not just African American. You got some of they people, so child, you got some of they people talking about lock the crackers up. I seen one video of a white man. He was on there talking about, y'all, this wasn't funny, because y'all know I don't play about death, okay? This man literally started his video off talking about, what did he say? I can't remember verbatim, but I see somebody posted it. One of my supporters shared it. He said, "Hey Austin," he was looking down. He said, "Hey Austin, how's the devil treating y'all? How's hell going or something like that? I said, oh my God. Like, and that's one of theirs. He said, lock the rest of them crackers up. That was his words verbatim. I was like, Lord have mercy. That's how you know, y'all, like more and more people are opening their eyes up. The ones who still screaming, oh, he deserved what he got, that's people with hate in their heart. That's people who are racist and don't care about the justice system getting it right. Because at the end of the day, that could be any one of our kids. Any one of our kids getting railroaded. And we've said literally from the very beginning of this situation, it was never about stripping accountability. But you can't tell me that the justice system only has remorse for white kids. And not just white, any kid that ain't black. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett, because she said it's two different types of justice systems. It's one for us and it's one for everybody else. And that's a true statement. Because you got multiple legal professional people who are showing cases comparing the consequences, and they differ tremendously. Crimes are literally similar, very, very similar, unalivings. You got some ain't getting no time, just probation. You got some getting 10 years, 5 years, and you got Karmelo, 17 at the time. We got to look at the time the crime was committed. 17-year-old high school student, honor roll student, no prior criminal history, 2 jobs, a leader, captain of the football team, captain of the track team, was loved by many in the community, many in the school, never was known to be a bully. He don't have not one bully story connected to him. Saved another life, and he saved a life when he was a little boy himself. That alone shows the passion that he has for human life. When you risk your own life to save another, that's a different type of human being right there. All of that is supposed to be considered when going through sentencing. All of that, y'all. But how could they consider that when Lord Jesus, when his defense team forgot they was lawyers that day? They forgot, or bro, you can't tell me that these 2 lawyers, 2 of the best lawyers in Texas, Mike Howard and Toby Shook, you cannot tell me one of them is a whole damn law professor. Mike Howard. Shout out to Open Book. He is a whole law professor who literally teaches on jury selection, amongst other things. Teaches on the prejudices of jury selection, y'all. Are y'all hearing me? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Hence why, now we'll give him that. At least he hit him with that Batson challenge, because that's literally one of his courses under his him being a law professor, jury selection. But they got at least 50 years experience between them. Ain't no way y'all, a rookie attorney wouldn't have dropped the ball to this magnitude. And I'm torn because I need to see that transcript in its entirety. That's why I don't speak too much on the attorneys, because I need to see that transcript. I need to see, we basically going off of what boots on the ground said, people that was there, and the mainstream media putting out certain things, the quotes and stuff that was stated in court, whether it was cross-examination, opening statements, or whatever, right? But the reason why I say that is because the reason why I say I'm torn is because I want to know if they really, really dropped the ball, or They seen they didn't have a chance in court and they knew what they was up against, so they just let it go. Because two things could be true at once, right? They could have very well dropped the ball because I remember, shout out, I don't know if Lakeisha is still in here, but shout out to Dwayne. I remember him saying that Mike Howard was doing a phenomenal job initially. He had all his ducks in a row. And then all of a sudden he ended up having to have a meeting with the prosecution or the judge or whoever. And next thing you know, he just forgot how to be a lawyer. They must have blackballed him or strong armed him or something, allegedly. Okay? So I don't know, child, but this is crazy. But let's keep going, y'all. Hey to everybody coming in. We got 360 in the building, y'all. Please hit that like button. Please support my goal, y'all. If y'all enjoying this commentary, show my goal some love, my little goal. It ain't much. All right, let me see. And welcome into any and everybody coming in. You say yes. Come on, Lupac. Let them know talk your ish. Y'all know I'm on talk you, baby. Y'all know if you know anything about pop. You said. Wait, hold on. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you for that cash app blessing. You said before I sent you the 30 videos from yesterday. What videos? I didn't see it. I'm gonna go back and check. Did you send it to? I'm about to see. Was it my email or Messenger? Because y'all know I barely be on Messenger. You gotta email me. You know, I check my email more often than Messenger. Okay, but I'm gonna go back and look. All right. You said my goal ended. Really? We only an hour in. I thought I said it for 2 hours. Hold on. Let me see. 1 second, y'all. Let me check my goal. It shouldn't have ended. It sure did. I must have. Oh, you know what? I said it for 30 minutes. That's why. That was an accident. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Got it. Hold on, y'all. Tip. Okay. Okay. Oh, shoot. I didn't want to do that. Okay. I reset it. All right. And shout out to all the new subscribers. You say new subscriber. I love your content. Thank you, RM Budget. I appreciate you. Okay, y'all. So let's finish cooking. All right. So I think we did this one. Did we finish reading this one? That was actually after the poking. Okay. So the prosecutor said, the witness said, I could not really tell. The witness responded, I thought it was as the poking was happening. So the prosecution said, you know you're wrong. Worski asked. And then the witness said, yes, sir. The witness said, bruh, he strong armed that baby out of what he seen, y'all. Imagine how nervous them kids was on that witness stand. Y'all know how intimidating those prosecutors are. That's why I said that's equivalent to putting some young kids, not YNs, high school suburban kids in the hood amongst gang dealers. Okay? I mean not gang dealers. Gang bangers. That's equivalent. Okay? God. That baby saw what he saw. He saw Karmelo surrounded before the poking happened. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. But that was what I wanted to show y'all. But we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. Now let me put this up too. Even though I don't think that the poker. Wait, let me see. Okay. I don't think that the poker belonged to Karmelo, and I stand firm on that even more so now. I really believe that he picked it up from under the bleachers where he was sitting, but this is for the ones in the back who keep saying that he brought a poker to a school event. Defense attorneys also called Frisco police detective Bo Riley, who responded to the poking and interviewed witnesses. He testified that the poker Anthony carried was legal to possess in Texas, including at stadiums. We just gonna set that right there for the ones in the biz act. Okay? That came from the police officer. The police officer. Hence why he wasn't charged with a weapon also. It was not only legal to possess in Texas, but including at stadiums. Okay? So y'all can stop with the, why would he bring a knife to a track meet? First of all, y'all don't even know if it was his. That's one. Because prosecution and defense did such a sloppy ass job. They didn't even test for fingerprints. Not only did they not test for fingerprints, but they didn't even show the actual factual multi-tool that was used in courts. The jury didn't get to examine it. They didn't get to see if it had initials on it. They didn't know if it had other fingerprints on it. They had two of them, matter of fact. If y'all seen the evidence submission, it was two pokers that was submitted. Why? Nobody's talking about that. The why surrounding that. Why is there two pokers? Wow, you got these fools in the back talking about, why would he have a poker at a track meet? Well, who the hell the other one belonged to? Who was the other poker for? Why the hell they had it at the track meets? Which further makes me feel like one of those thick ass kids was trying to attack Karmelo with a poker. It was just a regular old poker fight. That's what it's given. Hence, he put his hands on me. I was just protecting myself. Hence, I know how this goes. I'm not alleged. I didn't do it. Not I did it. Let's not leave out the context of what he's saying. See, it's easy to say, oh, Karmelo said, I'm not alleged, I did it, because that sounds like how it's supposed to be said. But when there's actual factual context to that statement, smart people gonna know what he meant and what he was actually saying before he was magically cut off. That baby said verbatim, he put his hands on me. I know I'm not guilty. Then he repeated it for the second time. He put his hands on me. I know I'm not guilty. Then he also said, when he heard them saying, we have the alleged suspect in custody, he said, I know how this goes. Y'all remember? I don't know. Did I play y'all? Yeah, I did. I played the audio for y'all. I even raised the volume to maximum capacity through CapCut. And I cleared out the background noise so you can't hear the wind. I ain't never let y'all hear that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. If you an editor, you know how to make it do what it do. I took out the background noise, where you can hear the wind, all that wind I took all of that out. I took all of that out and I raised it to maximum capacity, over 1,000 in the volume. That baby said verbatim, I know how this goes. I'm not alleged. I didn't. And if you're smart, you're going to finish the sentence. Why would he admit to doing anything when he literally said in the same body cam footage, he put his hands on me. I know I'm not guilty. But of course, they going to take that and run with it. And that's literally how media painted it, y'all. Media, and that's why I said, baby, them Anthony's, oh, I hope they sue the dust off of their ass. Listen. What y'all listen? They better sue because ain't no way in hell. Like bruh, the fact that they had this baby plastered all over the news in real time when he was 17 years old before a conviction even happened. They put a target on his back. Mainstream media put a target on his back. The family should have been looking into a lawsuit when that happened initially. And well, they might have. You never know. We don't know everything. Okay, they might have been looking into it. Thank you. Who sent me this? Thank you, Iris One. Thank you for that cash app blessing. She said, "Thank you for telling the truth." Thank you, my love. I appreciate your support. Y'all, the family should have been looking into a lawsuit early on because ain't no way in hell. I ain't never seen that done before. I've never seen that done before where they put out a minor's information, like just plaster it all over the news with like a final state, like, oh, he committed murder. Or, no. How? Thank you, sis. Thank you, Nina the Goat. Shout out to my sister for that firework, baby. All right. So y'all, we cooking. We ain't there yet. We just, we season. We had, if y'all know anything about that gumbo, yeah, we didn't add our roux. We didn't put a little bit of seasoning. We got our smoked meat in there. We got our smoked sausage in that thing. We got our fresh seasoning in that thing. We cooking. Okay? We ain't done yet though. We ain't got to the point yet where we can load that fire. All right, let's keep going. So I just wanted, the ones in the back to see this, that not only did the cop testified that the knife Anthony carried was legal to possess in Texas, including at stadiums. Okay, let's take that down. Let's take that down. Let me see if I got another one to present. Or we're going to go to the video that I want to show y'all. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Oh, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this, and then we're going to go to something else. Remember, I told y'all that Karmelo's attorney did indeed see the footage. This article right here, let me make it a little smaller. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Hold up, y'all. Okay, that's better. This article right here, y'all, this is from 2025. WFAA posted this in 2025, y'all. Okay? And it says, Karmelo Anthony's attorney, Mike Howard of the law office of Mike Howard, confirms he has seen the footage, though neither family has disclosed whether they have. Anthony is currently facing a murder charge and is under house arrest and ankle monitor. Okay? Yeah. He's seen it, y'all. He's seen it, baby. He's seen it. As a matter of fact, I thought I had another one where it clearly stated that it was the Frisco ISD. I'm going to have to look through my receipts because I got another one. This is just, I put this up the other day. But since it was already up here, that's why I showed y'all. But he's seen the footage. The Frisco ISD, DC fly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. He's seen it. He's seen it. Stinker butt. Stinker butt seen it, y'all. All right, let me take this down. So I want to show y'all this too. Hey, my dream star. They posted him before he became an adult. Facts. He was still very much a minor. How you got you got sympathy for the other minors in the situation, but they didn't care nothing about Karmelo. They ain't care nothing about that baby. I thought, the legal system handles kids a little differently, child. Anyway, so y'all, I seen this. A lot of people been posting this, right? I think we got it wrong, y'all. this part, this mug shot situation. And let me show y'all why. I think we got it wrong. Remember, I did a live stream on the fact of the mug shot being edited, right? Let me take my sister's firework off of here. Remember, I did a live stream showing y'all the differences in the mug shots. Now, there is another mug shot that Frisco ISD, and I'm going to show y'all. Frisco is the one who edited that mug shot. Hold on. Let me find it. 1 second. 1 second. I thought I had sent it to my email. I probably didn't. Hold up. But it shouldn't be far in my receipts. But Frisco indeed. Yep, here you go. Hold up, y'all. Frisco was the one to send out the mug shots to mainstream media, y'all. Oh, this one says Collin County. Oh, hold up. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me send that to my email. Share. My child got that TV so loud. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Because I wasn't going to show y'all all of this today, but since we're here, might as well. Might as well. Since we cooking that gumbo, baby. All right. So, let me wait for that to come up. But remember, y'all, a lot of us have been saying that this on, if as you can see on the right is the original mugshot. But as you can see on the left, shout out to the person. I don't know who's the original person to show this, but look at Karmelo's face, right? And you can tell that this is not Chat GPT because Chat GPT, if you know anything about Chat GPT's editing, it cleans the image up. It's too many deficiencies in the image for it to be a Chat GPT revision. Okay? A few people have been posting it showing Karmelo's face. And we know this image to be true, y'all, because if y'all remember, I showed y'all on the body cam, we literally played it in slow motion and I stopped it where you can see Karmelo's eye was bruised while he was getting into the back of the cop car. So this right here is said to be the original mugshot. This one also is edited along with that dark ass image they put out too. I'm about to show y'all who put those images out. Let's take this down. But as y'all can see, he was indeed injured. And we knew that already. We knew that already because we seen it. Even with them editing this one right here on the right, you can still see his injuries. You can still see it. And it makes you think they had to have been this severe for them to edit it and us to be able to still see that he was injured is crazy. All right, let's take this one down. Now let me show y'all the source of these mug shots. Hold up. Here we go. Wait, that's not it. Let's get to the sources, right? Okay. Let's put this one up first. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We got 389 in the building. So let's do this one first. Okay. So this was the very first. Y'all see where it says his name or whatever. But this was the very first mugshot that was put out. Thank you, sister. Thank you for that firework, Nene. This was the very first mugshot that was put out of Karmelo, y'all. I wonder why it ain't showing. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all who put this out. Who's the source? If you know what source mean, then you know what it means. Okay, the source is the originator. The source is where it comes from. The source is the very first person, the very first accredited person to have the object, image, whatever it is. Right? You know what source mean? Then you know what I'm saying. So let's go down to the bottom of the picture. What does that say, y'all? Karmelo Anthony source, Frisco police. Okay? Remember, Frisco police is who arrested him. That's who arrested him. Frisco police. That's the source of this image right here. As you can see, he got hair missing right here. You can see there's a raised greenish reddish area under his eye. You can see the bridge of his nose is drastically swollen. You can see some redness under his nose, under the tip of his nose. You can see his lips a little reddish. Like, shall I continue? There's literally a welt on the left, my left of his side of his face. Let's keep going. Let's take that down. And I'm going to do y'all one even better. I'm going to let a professional show y'all the editing work on these images after I finish showing y'all this. Thank you, sister. Thank you for the fireworks. My sister cutting up, trying to help me with that gold, child. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Okay, so let me show y'all the other one. The one that they try to do their big one on. This was a sin and a shame right here. This was a sin and a shame. Whoever did this to that baby's face, y'all need y'all ass beat. Okay? Whoever edited this image of Karmelo to make him look older, to make him look darker, because y'all know they scared of black people. Oh yeah. Us fair skinned people, see, I'm black. Don't get it twisted. But I'm high yellow. Our chocolate babies, oh, they scared of them. They scared of them, child. Hence why they darkened Karmelo's skin so much and did a terrible job. Not only did they darken his skin, they try to fill in the dreads that was missing. They smooth out his skin, his nose, the mark that was under his eye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they did a terrible job. They made his face wider. They wanted to make him look older, right? Because we know he's a kid and he has a baby face. So they wanted to make him look older. They even darkened in the hair, his eyebrows, the mustache. Like, child, listen, Linda. Let me show y'all who did this, whose work this was. Karmelo Anthony source, Collin County. Well, would you look at that? This is where WFAA and Fox 4 and NBC Texas and CSB, whatever, child, all those news places that shared this image, they got this from Collin County. That's who butchered this baby's aesthetic and did a terrible job at it. His face ain't even the same size no more, child. This is a completely different person. This ain't Karmelo. This ain't even Karmelo no more. Whoever did this bullshit, listen. Ooh, child, these people are hell. So let me do y'all one better. Let me do y'all one better. Okay, y'all remember these images, but the source for the very first mugshot that I showed y'all before this one was Frisco PD. This one is Collin County. Okay, the sundown town, allegedly. All right. Thank you, Miss Natalie. Thank you for that firework, my love. You look so cute in your picture, girl. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Gossip and Giggles for renewing that membership, period. Nay said, and not one bruise on this picture, shaking my head. Oh, they edited it all out. But hold up. We ain't done, y'all. We ain't done. Top of neck from the headlock. I heard about that too. Somebody even put in my comments and said that Karmelo had 3 did they say scratches or cuts? I think they said cuts. 3 cuts on him, 1 on his finger and 2 on his wrist or something like that. I didn't see that. Hopefully they sent it to my email, but somebody put that in my comments. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me pull up TikTok. What is her page name? 1 second. I'm gonna let y'all see a professional break this thing down for us. What is that girl name, child? Um, it is. Where you at, young lady? Hold up, y'all. Okay, I found her. Let me pull her up real quick. Oh, he fine. Ooh, cha. All right. Don't get distracted, Pop. Hold on, y'all. Pink. All right. She should already been in my searches, but it's all good in the hood, baby. Let's go to her page. We are here. Let me put my earphones on. And I'm gonna show y'all what I found. Y'all know they don't like when we search things, but when they people search it, oh, or break it down, oh baby, it's even worse. It's even worse. Y'all can only imagine the things they say in this young lady comments. And she got a nice size following on TikTok. All right, so let's go to, I think it's 2 or 3 videos that I want to show y'all that she did. Hold on. Let's go to the one about the mug shot first. Where is it at? Hold up, y'all. Um, did I go too far down? Hold on, y'all. Let me find it. Tell the 10. I think I went too far down. Where is it? It's 53161. Okay. 636465. Okay, this is one, but it's some other one. Where is it at? Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to find it. And I just looked at the videos last night. Why I can't see them? And not telling the whole story. She must have took it down. Damn. Hold on, y'all. She must have took it down because I don't see the one. Let me see. Mugshot. Ash Waggers. Hold on, I might can find it on Facebook. Because somebody shared it, but I don't see it. And I see it said 5 posts about Carmelo Anthony, but it's only showing 2. Um. All right, hold up. We're gonna come back here. Let me see if I can find it on Facebook. Let's see. Um, hold up, y'all. Reels. Where's that baby? Where you at? Where you at, my love? Okay. See it yet. Stand with Karmelo. Damn, he shared it. Carmelo's photo mugshot. It's from July. Let's see. Okay, here you go. I found it, y'all. I had to look, child. Hey, Ray. Shout out to Ray for being a member for 23 months, period. All right. Here we go. I had to look for it. So, let's go.
The two different mugshots because I can prove that they were photoshopped. No Secret Service Sam talked in on this, but I decided to do my own little investigation. Many of you who know my page have seen me do this before, but what I did was I overlaid one of the mugshots with the other, lined up the eyes, the nose, the lips so that they perfectly matched up. And yet look how different the photograph is just from the shape, the shading, the ears don't match up. There are certain things in your facial structure that does not change with age, weight, anything like that. Things like eyes, nose, lips, ears, those things do not change. And I tried my best to literally get them to match up because sometimes lighting, camera angles, all that stuff is effective. I did so much manipulating that it is impossible for those things to have not been changed. And in the course of me trying to figure out how these pictures could line up, I noticed the most solid evidence that this was photoshopped. And I can't believe none of us have noticed it before, but where's his shoulder? Why does the darker skinned picture of Karmelo not have a shoulder over here? Watch. Look at it. Where is it? There is no way that that shoulder would look like that. He looks like he has no arm. And if you look, it's not a bad quality picture. This quality is just fine. What we have is someone who not only darkened his skin, but got rid of all of his like wrinkles and crevices in the process. And they went over his details on his face and they sharpened him. That's what the little fuzzies around here do. That is the result of the sharpening of the pixelation. I've done it many times myself. If you look closely between the two, you can see the remnants of the photoshopping. And if you zoom in and line up this ear, you can actually see where they made major mistakes in the Photoshop. They accidentally photoshopped part of his ear out. See, right back there. And then if you look right here, right there's where the tool messed up. That is a little line. You can see right here where they blurred out his eyebrow. They did this not only to prejudice the jury, but to cover up Anthony's freaking injuries. Notice how they gave him literally different color lips. Pink lips don't all of a sudden become brown in low lighting. Notice how the nose is less swollen. As a makeup artist, I can tell you that these lines are genetic right here, and yet they are missing in this picture. You can even still see the remnants of this lock right here that they literally photoshopped out right here. And you can tell it's the same photo by the highlighting, because notice how the middle of the forehead is highlighted and the sides are dark. The faded remnants of this highlight right here. As you can see, I perfectly lined up the ear here. And when you go back and forth between the two pictures, the locks don't look the same, right? Well, I want you to watch very carefully what happens to the proportions as I start playing with them, stretching it and elongating and zooming in. Watch. Notice how these locks all of a sudden are going to be lined up. And then this lock right here is going to suddenly line up. And you can see where they edited it and added more hair.
That's great.
You can really see it with this lock right here. And this is such a unique shape right here. There's no way. There's no way. Let's talk about the two different mugshots because I can prove that they were photoshopped. No Secret Service Sam talked.
Y'all, this is crazy. Wow. But that ain't it, y'all. She be cooking. Baby, she cooking a sauce over there on TikTok, okay? Let me let y'all hear how she broke down the trial. Watch how she broke it down. That if the attorney would have did what she did in a TikTok video, I don't think that Karmelo would be sitting in jail right now. Watch. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me see. Let me go back to the top. Okay. Closing arguments. We're going to do both of them. Let's do this one first. I wonder if I could close this out. I don't think so.
Intentionally doing dishonest reporting about what is going on in the trial of Karmelo Anthony.
So she said, hold on, let me start it over.
Intentionally doing.
Her title is Inaccurate Reporting of the Witnesses in Karmelo Anthony Trial. So she's basically about to break down how the media, mainstream media, was doing inaccurate reporting of the Karmelo Anthony trial. And I told y'all, Even when I went and do my homework and comb through the quote in quotation testimony statements that the media was putting out, you can tell they was being biased because they was given paragraphs of what the prosecution was cooking on. And then when it got down to the defense, it was just dry and in general. Like they'll like just sum it up. And no, when you dealing with these type of situations, you got to give context. We want to know what the defense said in full, just like the prosecution. Okay? And that's exactly what they did not do. So they was being real biased also. That's why we need that transcript. Now watch this girl cook real quick.
Dishonest reporting about what is going on in the trial of Karmelo Anthony. They're conveniently not going into the details and the inconsistencies in the witness's testimony, but luckily I was able to find somebody on Reddit who was actually detailing what each of the witnesses were testifying to. So allow me to paint you the picture of what I believe actually happened. I went through each of the witnesses' testimonies, and it's very clear that not everybody had a clear picture of what happened. So on the day of the stabbing, it started pouring down rain, which caused a delay in the track meet. Very common for athletes, and each of the schools seemingly brought their own tents and set them up so that people could sit underneath them. Karmelo's coach testified that they did not have a tent, that it was actually coming later with a second bus, and they didn't have enough students to justify bringing a tent at that moment, so they didn't have a place to shelter from the rain. Anthony apparently was friends with one of the kids from the tent. Several people saw he and Anthony dap up, greeting each other, and seemingly Karmelo Anthony, while he was in the tent, made some joke about "y'all are ass," referring to their football team. The friend, who weirdly enough denied kind of how close his relationship was with Karmelo Anthony, said that it was a joke. And by the way, Karmelo Anthony is not only the captain of the track team, but he was also captain of the football team. His senior year had been cut short because he had had an injury, a very severe one, and his shoulder was messed up. He had to wear a sling for part of the year. They also don't mention that Karmelo Anthony was already in the tent before the Metcalf twins entered it. It wasn't until the Metcalf twins came to the tent that they seemed to be the ones who had a problem with him being there. And it's pretty inconsistent across the 9 witnesses from the incident about where Austin's brother even was during this. Some said that he was right next to his brother. Some said that he was in the back of the tent. Some said that he was a couple bleachers down. Witness said that they heard Anthony say, "I'm a nobody," when students were asking why he was under their tent. And there doesn't seem to be any consistency on what the words Anthony was saying. And while they're trying to say that Anthony is the aggressor, the person that he was in there seeing literally thought it was funny, and he took out his phone and pretended to record it. I personally don't believe that. No teenager just pretends to record things, especially since one of the witnesses said that after the incident, students were passing around a phone and looking at Anthony's Instagram page, which doesn't make sense. You wouldn't just pass the phone around. You would just ask for the handle and you would go to his Instagram page. What I think they were passing around was the video. I think there was a video and they deleted it because it would have looked bad on Austin. I say that because this person that Anthony was talking to didn't step up and say to the guys, "Hey, he's with me. We're just hanging out talking." And Karmelo's lawyer had to show a bunch of photos of the two together hanging out. They even hang out 3 times in a 3-week period. So they knew each other pretty well. It's clear that Austin specifically did not want Anthony in the tent and was ganging up on him. I think they all were, because both Anthony and Metcalf were frustrated and escalated, according to one of the witnesses. And mind you, there is no policy that these kids can't be in each other's tent. And in fact, there are supposed to be coaches at every tent because it's a bunch of teenagers have nothing to do. So where was the adults, in my opinion? And it didn't start out as a big deal because Austin Metcalf sat down on the bleacher in front of Anthony, which sounds honestly aggressive. He came in, he started antagonizing him, he sat down next to him, they started calling each other bitch. And nobody is consistent with the shoving part. Some say it was a small one-handed shove. Another witness said, and I believe this is the true story, that there was minor pushing for a couple of minutes, that both Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony were angry and aggressive. Several witnesses say that they didn't believe Anthony when he was bluffing, but Metcalf and Anthony were frustrated and it escalated, and some called the shove a nudge. And one of the witnesses, turns out, told the cops that Anthony had told a joke and that Metcalf had pushed on Anthony in a lineman move, which is an inward and upward motion. Some of the witnesses said that both of the Metcalf brothers were ganging up on Anthony. And I think these kids have a very skewed perspective of what defending them was, because they said that Anthony said, "You're not going to move me. You're a bitch." The witness told the jurors Austin was defending us. That's not defending you. I think y'all went through a very traumatic effect, and you can't come to terms with the fact that I think your friend was the aggressor. But you can't say that he deserved it. So obviously this guy has to be the perpetrator. It has to be his fault. It has to be a murder. Some of the kids were giving different statements to the police last year, right after it happened, like not mentioning the cursing. Another witness characterized Austin's putting his hands on Karmelo as a warning. The witnesses across the board all pretty much agreed that this lasted 4 to 6 minutes. If someone is harassing you for 4 to 6 minutes, as a woman, I too would be grabbing my backpack and unfolding the blade in there because things were progressing. This witness said that Austin Metcalf tried to force Anthony out. After Metcalf put his hands on him, that's when he got stabbed. If this had been an actual problem and not just a couple of kids bullying the black kid they didn't know under the tent, then they would have gone and gotten an adult that should have fucking been there to begin with. And that is very obvious on cross-examination of a witness when the lawyer said if Anthony and a friend were outside of the tent, what was wrong with that? And the witness, who was also on the football team and was part of this little group, said it was because of the proximity to the tent. But every witness.
Y'all see how she breaking that thing all the way down, and we don't even have the actual transcript. This is just what she came up with off of what mainstream media put out there, because they was in court. The fact, and we know that was manipulated, because, and she's gonna say that in her video, how mainstream media wasn't factually reporting or inaccurately reporting the witness testimony. We know damn well those witnesses said more than what they said, especially when it was time for the defense to cross-examine. Okay, they conveniently left out what majority of the cross-examination was when it came to the defense, but they put these big ass paragraphs for the prosecution. So that was definitely calculated. Let's keep going.
Who saw the stabbing said that Karmelo was sitting on the bleachers and that Metcalf was standing up and pushing him. Anthony never got out of his seat. And not only that, the wound and the blade prove that he did not even try to stab him. He just held it out and Austin went on the blade. You know how I know this? Because the blade itself is 3.5 inches long. Everyone said that Austin leaned in to push him and Karmelo stabbed him. There's no dispute about that. Anthony was sitting, Austin was standing over him, getting ready to shove him, and he goes into the blade. So if the blade was 3.5 inches and the wound was 2 inches deep, people, what does that mean? It means he could not have stabbed at him as Austin was leaning in to shove him. Austin had to have been the one who fell on the blade. I'm sorry, but it seems pretty obvious to me. Like, this is self-defense. How could Anthony be the aggressor if he never fucking moved from his seat? That is literally stand your ground. And all of this could have been avoided if he had just minded his own business or gotten his coach. And the prosecutor kind of proves my point when he asked the doctor if there were any defensive wounds on Austin, and there were none. He already had his hands out to push him. He crossed that physical boundary and fell on that knife. There is never a situation when a person is sitting down and a person is standing up, physically impeding you, that person is not the aggressor. And if this was the opposite, this wouldn't have even been a trial. I have a feeling the defense is going to tell us that there is a documented history of aggression with Austin. Let's face it, the prosecution is resting on racism in this case. That's exactly why they struck all of the black jurors. They are just hoping that they will just gloss over all the inconsistencies in this story, because not a single person out of the 9 witnesses that were there had a consistent story. And that's what the media is not telling you. The media is intentionally doing dishonest reporting about what is going on in the trial of Karmelo Anthony. They're conveniently not going into the
She cooked, baby. She cooked. And that ain't it. Hold up. She did one more video. Let's do that one. And I want to show y'all something else before we exit with our church fingers. Okay? Let me show y'all the other one she did. Because when I say she cooked, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She did her big one. She did her big one. I think it's this one.
Closing arguments are officially done, so let's go over the defense and the prosecution's closing statements in the Karmelo Anthony trial. The judge told the jury today that the lesser charge of manslaughter could be considered, and I found it really interesting that the prosecution decided to forego their initial closing arguments. But apparently, Texas law for criminal cases, they always get the last say, so the defense attorneys actually presented their closing arguments first, and they laid out some very compelling arguments, in my opinion. Starting with Austin Metcalf had no legal right to use force to eject Karmelo Anthony from that tent. Nobody had a problem with him being there until the Metcalf twins showed up. He said that Melo had an absolute right to defend himself against Austin and Hunter because they are giant freaking kids. And how do you know in a split second of chaos when it's too late to defend yourself? Who in their right mind would wait? If you wait too long to defend yourself, it's meaningless. And he also pointed out the inconsistencies of the.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. If they gonna just be, see, in Texas, it's stand your ground, right? And you don't have to have, the other person doesn't have to have a weapon. It doesn't have to be proportionate, based depending on, the circumstances. In this case, Karmelo was surrounded by multiple thick ass kids, okay? Multiple assailants. No matter how they try to swing it, that baby was surrounded. Point blank, period. It wasn't no one-on-one Karmelo. And that's all up and through the testimonies. All up and through that. That's why I'm like, how the hell was they even able? Y'all, going through what mainstream media put out for the testimonies, that like you got some saying Hunter was on the other side of the canopy minding his business, which is dumb because the canopy wasn't but this damn big. How much of he could have been on the other side minding his business could have been done when that canopy, they act like they was in a 3-bedroom house. This was under a little ass canopy. He was minding his business. Make it make sense. And then you got some saying it went from Hunter to Austin. Hunter to Austin. We can see in the video that Hunter was the first one to approach Karmelo. According to Hunter, on his videos, he was the first one to have an exchange with Karmelo. So even testimony stated that, Karmelo was sitting down the entire time. We stood up because we didn't want it to be a fight. Oh, so y'all stood up because y'all didn't want it to be a fight. Oh, okay. Ciao, bye. The jury's supposed to use their brain. They're supposed to come to their conclusion based off of the facts and the inconsistencies. And those witness testimonies were too inconsistent for them to still get that baby 35 goddamn years. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. When it was clear, cut and dry that Hunter ass was all up and through that thing. Let's keep going.
Children's statement that they had a bias because, Austin was their leader. It was a shove. It was a hit. It was a lineman drill. Karmelo had every chance to flee. The exit was right there. And yet he stayed, found his coach, and everybody on that track said that he was crying. Clearly, he didn't intend for him to die or get hurt because he said he's not going to die. And apparently one of the witnesses, funny how we didn't get this little part, said that Austin reportedly said, if you don't move, I'll beat your ass. And as much as we may not like it, a 5.5-inch knife is not illegal to carry. Even in a high school stadium, it's a violation of policy, but it's not a crime. Texas law does not require that you wait until you get hit, and that is so important. Karmelo had absolutely no motive other than he felt like he was in danger. And he even said that the case is not about race, as much as people want to make it about that. And the angle of the knife wound shows that it wasn't intentional, that Karmelo's hand was underneath it and not on top of it, which is exactly what I have been saying, that he was like this and that Austin fell on it. And then it's quite clear that the prosecution didn't want to go first because they wanted to see what the defense was going to say. So they solely were just arguing against the defense's argument instead of presenting a case. Some of this just doesn't even make sense. Like, do not let them turn a threat into a warning. And then he doesn't even talk about the angle of the knife. He just says, oh, it's ludicrous. There's no way he could have stabbed himself. No. What you should be focusing on is the mindset, because the mindset is the important part. This 3.7 GPA, 2 jobs for for 2 years, having captain of the track team, captain of the football team. He's a thug. That's the mindset. He went to that track meet to stab people. Obviously, that is hyperbole, but come on. He said this is one of those rare cases where every important fact can be boiled down to one sentence. You do not get to meet a shove with a stab, especially if you provoke the shove. And then he referenced the video again, which again, from the people in the courtroom, we have heard that it was grainy, blurry. You couldn't actually make out what was going on. Saying, why didn't he just walk away? He had a choice to walk away and abandon the encounter. Austin had the choice to walk away, to go get an adult. And then right here, this is how we know that the state actually knows their case is super weak, because then he said, if you think Austin Metcalf impaled himself on Carmelo Anthony's knife, find him guilty of manslaughter. Oh, no. Now, wait a minute, because your whole thing is the mindset. You can't now say, well, he's definitely guilty because of the mindset.
Y'all, that's why they don't want us with that transcript, because they know we're going to dissect that thing, baby. Okay? That's why they don't want us with that transcript. Ain't no way. I've been hearing people that was in court saying that the state had a weak-ass case. Hence why, like I said, if you go back and do your research to things that was being stated in 2025 when it first happened, people didn't even think this was going to make it to trial. That's how weak this case was and the evidence. They didn't think it was, y'all. Now, another thing I'm going to give the defense. The defense tried to get this whole thing thrown out. The judge denied. Of course he did. Just like he denied everything else they said. That's probably why they stopped objecting, because he was denying everything the defense was bringing forth. Everything. And approving everything the prosecution had. Y'all, and that's based on what I've seen from mainstream media's coverage. Like I said, we still have yet to see the actual transcript. But from what I've seen, he was denying everything the defense brought forth. He denied the Batson challenge. Damn it. It'll come back to me. But he was denying everything. Everything that I seen in that paperwork, he was denying and approving everything the prosecution. The defense tried to get the judge to not allow those. It was 3 autopsy pictures, right? It was 3 autopsy pictures. We only seen one. We seen the one where it was all the way zoomed in, and you can see, and anytime you zoom something in, it makes it bigger, right? It makes it way larger than what it actually is. So we only seen that one. But it was actually, no, it was 4. It was 4 autopsy pictures. And the defense tried to get the other 3 thrown out. The judge denied it. No, they're going to be able to submit it. Okay. Everything, y'all, the Batson challenge, that was denied. Like, they wasn't letting the defense have nothing. That's why I'm kind of stuck on whether the defense just did a piss poor job. Because according to people that was boots on the ground, they said defense did horrible. Or if it was just because they knew what they was up against. I don't know, y'all. I got to see that transcript to really give, my perspective on that. Because, like, if you got experience, and like I told y'all, Mike Howard is a law professor. He ain't just an attorney. He's a law professor. And one of his courses is jury selection, right? So he has a lot of experience with this shit. Hence why they objected with the Batson challenge, right? For the jury selection. So it really makes you wonder, like, they had to have known what they was up against from the very beginning of this trial. And like, it makes you think, like, did they just intentionally throw it because they knew they wasn't going to win? Or was they coerced or blackballed, blackmailed, strong-armed? One of them, child. One of them. Something happened, though. Something happened. And it's just so unfortunate. Because it's like, damn, do you do the right thing, or do you do what you got to do to keep your job so you can continue to take care of your family? It's a sad situation. All right, let's keep going.
Of bringing a knife, but if you think Austin accidentally fell on the knife, then yeah, you gotta find him guilty of this other thing, even though it would be Austin's fault that he impaled himself. And he said that the size difference doesn't work in this case. You don't get to end someone's life because they are bigger than you. Well, guess what? AI disagrees with you. I just typed the scenario of this case into Google, and this is what came out. An attacker having significant size or strength advantage over a seated victim can legally be considered a disparity of force. Combined with the dominant position of standing over a seated person and actively applying physical force, this can justify a knife. Actively comes down to how much you believe the witnesses, and the witnesses were shaky at best, especially considering the defense proved that the kids changed their stories. The fact that Austin Metcalf didn't have defensive wounds means that he didn't defend himself. He had to be the aggressor or fell on it. I have to say, I gasped a gasp when I read that they actually said that he should have just stayed out of the rain by getting under the bleachers. Are you kidding me? He had every legal right to sit on those bleachers. I'm so confused because he didn't run for an exit. He did run for his coach. His coach testified that he literally ran into his arms crying. That is the action of somebody who was scared, not someone trying to be tough and alpha. Just in case y'all need reminding about the bias in all of this, here's the prosecutor, here's the judge, here's...
Okay, y'all, disregard that picture because y'all know this picture. This is an old video. She did this during, right after court or whatever. So disregard this. This is that picture where people was thinking that was the judge, prosecutor, and all of them together. Now, I will say this. The lady she finna show do look like the lady that's in the picture. But disregard the other men, okay? But check out this lady that's Jeff Metcalf's cousin. She do look just like this lady.
A relative of the Metcalf twins, and here's the Metcalf twins' dad. There's the judge very friendly putting his hand on her hip. Look, I'm going to be honest. I hope I went an open mind that this picture now instead of the raise.
Okay, let's stop it here because she's going to just basically talk about that picture, which it has already been disproven. So we're going to keep going. I got something else to show y'all. But she cooked, baby. She cooked that thing up. She cooked with some seasoning, okay? Shout out to Pink Panda. All right, let's keep going. I got something else I want to show you guys. Let me pull up Instagram. Oh, they cooking on every platform. Then when I tell y'all they cooking on every platform, listen, I don't know. See, I haven't been covering this since 2025, y'all. But apparently, if you've been around since this happened in 2025, then you're probably going to know this person, right? Now, apparently there was a man that came out in 2025 that's a witness. And apparently his two daughters was there at the track meet, and he was there sitting in the bleachers, right? He came out back in 2025 and said what he witnessed. Why they didn't call him, I'm pretty sure we can guess why. Because it wasn't in Austin's favor. Okay? So let's let him say what he saw. Y'all know, and this goes back to also all of them damn subpoenas. I don't think he was even included because he didn't testify in Austin's favor, like I said. But it goes back to 50 or more subpoenas that were sent out, and majority of them wasn't even answered. Oh yeah, all of that is going to be looked at. Matter of fact, it's already been being included in the appeal. I told y'all that on my last live. That has already been included in the appeal situation. All of those unanswered and answered subpoenas. Okay. All right. Now let me show y'all this video real quick of this father that was there. And it was many more that was there. They probably scared to talk. All right, let's keep going. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Let me find them. This is it right here.
Easy bag. Everybody trying.
Hold on. I need to go. I want to get it from the beginning.
It was raining. They got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude, what's up? McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another.
Remember that, y'all. Remember, we had a conversation about what happened to Karmelo's phone. I'm going to show y'all something else that was posted in 2025 that, about the phone situation. Okay? Let's keep going.
They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and what they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro. Austin, that dude that's got unalive, and his brother physically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is at least 5 to 10 miles away. It was a community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet. So he had the right to have a knife. It was raining. It got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude, what's up? McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro.
All right, y'all. Let's stop him. Notice how we keep hearing Karmelo's phone. Let me take this down. It was something else on here. Record transcript of what Eddie witnessed. Who testified? Hold on, y'all. She got so much on her page. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back to her page and wait, let's see. She said, listen to Coach say Austin and Hunter went and approached Karmelo. Which coach is this?
They were both approaching him, and one had already shoved him. I mean, even the brother who's alive said, I quote him, "My brother always has my back."
Yeah, because the initiative he went over there to back with them, no matter what.
Right, Karmelo, that's my girlfriend.
I have no further questions, Denali.
Yeah, she will she'll let her rip out. She knows Andrew too. She knows Andrew too.
We're going to go to Mr. E.
They were both approaching him, and one had already shoved him. I mean, even the brother who's alive said, I quote him, "My brother always has my back."
Y'all, you know what's funny about that clip? If you listen to his girlfriend in the background, baby, she didn't like that he was saying it. Okay, she was like, "That's because he went over there fucking with them." No, he didn't, ma'am. Okay, no, he did not. According to Hunter, and even a good bit of people that's why they needed Hunter ass on that stand. I hope and pray if they have a new trial, they gotta put Hunter on that stand. Oh yeah. Them big dogs that's coming, they not playing, baby. And they are tight-lipped about this situation. I even heard in Lakeisha's live that somebody from the Austin side made a fake page of one of the big dog attorneys on the appeal team to try to make it seem like he was leaking out information so they can get him kicked off. They scared. They scared of that appeal team. But them people not playing, y'all. They so tight-lipped with this situation. They not playing. And they know something. Like I told y'all from the beginning. Anytime you get lawyers, attorneys of this caliber who got a lot to lose, who have reputations, and they doing it pro bono, oh yeah. Oh yeah. They know that baby's constitutional rights was violated. Period. Period. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back on her page later and look at her receipts to see what we can use. But I want to show y'all something real quick. Hold on, let me pull this up. I had this receipt up for a while. I just never had a chance to show it to y'all. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Let me find it on my thing up here. What is this? Okay. Wait, I just had it. Where is it? Hold up. There you go. Okay. So this was shared. Now, this is about the phone situation, y'all. Now, remember, let me take this off. Okay, let me take my earphones off too. All right. So when it comes to Karmelo's phone, right? Because it's a lot of controversy surrounding his phone. Y'all know I told y'all that Karmelo was dropped off to the track meet by his mom, Kayla. He's a teenager. High schooler. Teenagers don't go nowhere without their phone. Period. Well, adults don't either, but teenagers don't go nowhere without their phone. And seeing as how his mom dropped him off to the track meet, he definitely had his phone because he needed, to call his mama when he was ready or whatever, whenever he was done and it was time to go. So remember I told y'all I did a deep dive to go look back into 2025 to see what the people were saying back then. And that's how I was able to see that a lot of people in that area didn't think that this case was going to even make it to trial because of the evidence was some booty. Okay? The evidence was some booty. The people in the area, they knew that those Metcalf boys were bullies. They knew that they were literally clowning. I'm going to show y'all that again too. Hold on. They were literally clowning. Let me find that picture. Austin when he passed away. They was passing his picture around, y'all, clowning him because they knew. Hold on. I got to show y'all that one again. Let me pull it up real quick on my phone so I can find it to show y'all. Up. Here you go. Hold on, y'all. Okay. And I'm about to read this to y'all. I have to read this to y'all too. Let me send this to my email so I can show y'all this of what the kids were saying when Austin passed away. Hold up 1 second. 1 second. Just show you how kids think. Come on, phone. Hold up. Why is not pulling in my email? Hold on, y'all. Baby from it logged me into my other email. That's why. Okay. Receipts. All right. Now I'm gonna wait for that to come up and I'm gonna read this to y'all while we wait on that. So remember, it was a lot of speculation about Karmelo's phone. Now, when I went in my deep dive over there on Reddit from 2025, I seen a lot of local residents saying, I heard it was about a girl. I seen people saying, Austin punched him in the face and snatched his phone. Like, it's just a lot, but damn near every conversation said they destroyed Karmelo's phone. Every conversation I seen, they said that they destroyed his phone. Remember, you heard that person say Karmelo was sitting under the memorial tent, minding his business, scrolling on his phone. Scrolling on his phone, minding his business. his phone had to have gotten destroyed. And let me tell y'all why. Remember when Karmelo on the body cam was talking to the police officer? Y'all remember he was talking to Eduardo Jazz. And Eduardo was searching, isn't it Eduardo Cortez? He was searching Karmelo for like the 50th time while Karmelo was sitting on the ground. Now, mind you, Eduardo Cortez was the very first officer to come into contact with Karmelo. The coach handed Karmelo over to Eduardo, right? So as Karmelo's sitting on the ground and Cortez is he was like, I'm gonna search you again, bud, for the 50th time. Like I said, Karmelo stated verbatim in the body cam, and you can go back to it to quote what I'm saying. He said, I don't have anything on me, not even my phone. I wish he would have said what happened to his phone, though. But he let it be known he didn't even have his phone. And I heard in Lakeisha's live earlier, I don't know if Lakeisha's still in here, but Dwayne said that because they asked him about the phone in her live, and Dwayne said the police probably took his phone. No, the police didn't take his phone because the very first officer that approached Karmelo and searched him was Eduardo Cortez. And when he was searching him for the 50th time, Karmelo said, I don't have anything on me, not even my phone. So that allowed me to come to the conclusion that they destroyed and took his phone in the midst of them confronting Karmelo. He had his phone, he had his backpack, and he had his little things that was in the backpack, like his charger. He had a hair pick, he had an HEB receipt, he had some notes. I could show y'all that. I could show y'all everything that was in his backpack too. And hold on. Okay, it's sent to my email. But he had his phone, y'all. Too many people said that Karmelo was sitting there scrolling on his phone when them thick ass kids confronted him up under their canopy. Okay? So Jeannie Williams in Frisco, Texas posted this April 16th, 2025. So this was maybe 2 weeks after that track meet. This, the incident happened on April 2nd of 2025. This was April 16th of 2025. So 14 days later. She said, this is the story according to the coach. The week before last, Austin and Karmelo had a fight at a party. Karmelo lost, took the L, and walked away. Austin and his twin brother had friends at Karmelo's school who started to harass him, so he stayed home for a couple of days. Excuse me. On the day of the tragedy, Karmelo went to the other school for a track meet. He was sitting in the bleachers and then it started to rain. The coach told him to go and sit under the tent. Let's keep going. He was under the tent with his friends when the Metcalf twins came over to the tent. They told him to go, and when he didn't move, Austin grabbed his phone and threw it so it broke. Let's stop there. I'm not saying what she's saying is true, okay? I'm just saying she posted this 14 days after it happened, and she lives in that area. So y'all know how I told y'all, you can have some lies, but the truth gonna be buried somewhere in it. Okay, you just got to know how to comb through it, right? So we ain't saying that what she's saying is what actually happened. We're just saying that it might be some truth to some of what she's saying, including what happened with his phone, because they didn't have his phone. Remember, Karmelo's phone wasn't submitted into evidence. I have every picture of what was submitted into evidence, with the exception of those 4 autopsy pictures. Only got one of them, and that's the one that they allowed the public to see. But nowhere was Karmelo's phone submitted into evidence. And I think we're going to find out later what happened to that baby's phone. Okay? Because don't think for 1 second that the real truth ain't going to come out with this situation. Whether it comes out with the appeal or if they have a new trial, it's going to come out eventually. You got to know that. It's going to come out eventually. The truth doesn't stay hidden too long with these type of situations, because it's going to be that one motherfucker that's gonna have that guilty conscience, that's a good person. I ain't talking about them ignorant niggeros and clockers that are bad people and that do crooked shat to people on a regular. I'm talking about that one good person in the midst of this bullshit that's gonna have a guilty conscience and that's known for being a good person and is gonna be eating away at them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And after we say our prayer tonight, y'all remember that prayer I told y'all to pray tonight? Oh yeah. We need them idle thoughts, that idle mind to trigger a response for them to want to come and put the truth out. So let's keep going. Notice she said they told him to go. He didn't move. Austin grabbed his phone and threw it so it broke. So where is Karmelo's phone in the midst of this whole situation? It wasn't submitted into evidence, which means he didn't have it on him when they searched him to put it into evidence. They had his book sack, and a lot of people have came out and stated Karmelo was minding his business, scrolling on his phone when them twins confronted him up under Memorial Tent, sitting next to Eddie Batch ass. Okay? Scrolling on his phone, minding his business. So many people said that they destroyed his phone. I seen some say they threw it. Some say they stepped on, they took it from him and stepped on it. Some say they took it from him, they threw it. Like it's just different stories like that. But he definitely had his phone, and something was definitely done to his phone because police didn't have possession of Karmelo's phone. Okay, they didn't. Remember the body cam when the officer was searching him for the 50th time, and Karmelo stated, I don't have nothing on me, not even my phone. That holds some power right there, y'all. That holds a lot of power. So let's see what else she said just for kicks and giggles. Okay? I mean shits and giggles. Not kicks, child. So she then says the twins then proceeded to jump him with Austin on top of Karmelo. Karmelo pulled out the poker and stabbed Austin. When Austin got up, that's when his twin realized he had been hurt. Texas is a stand your ground state, and self-defense is different in stand your ground states than it is in Illinois. Karmelo had the right to defend himself and his property. Now, I agree with that last statement because it's a known fact that they took his book sack. And that came from the Metcalf bloodline. The daddy, Hunter, they both stated that Austin took Karmelo's bag. That is robbery / theft, especially if you are in the midst of a confrontation or altercation. If you snatch someone's property in the midst of a confrontation / altercation, that is robbery / theft. He did not give them permission to take his property. You do not have permission to snatch anyone's property because you want them to move. You don't have permission. And regardless of what these weird folks think, Karmelo had every right to stay up on them bleachers. They did not own those bleachers. That was public property. Yes, their school owned the canopy, but guess what? That wasn't even Austin's canopy. That was for their school. And for the ones in the back, the twins was the ones that was suspended. The coach allowed them to come and assist with the track meet to support the team and to help with, the canopy and stuff like that. He allowed them. I bet you he wish he wouldn't have allowed them because this wouldn't have happened. Because it's also a known fact that Karmelo was mixing and mingling with these very same people the week prior under the same canopy. But guess who wasn't there the week prior? Them thick ass kids. Okay? They was not there. They wasn't there the week prior. And it was probably because of the suspension. A lot of people lied on Karmelo in the midst of this situation, y'all. I went back and did a deep dive. They told so many lies on this baby. They said Karmelo was suspended. and he wasn't supposed to be there. He on the whole track roster. It don't take but a little bit of research so you don't have to put out lies. Like just blatant. These people are weird. But they wanted to paint him as the aggressor and as a murderer since the very beginning. Karmelo had every right to be there. He was actually on the roster for the track meet. Them twins wasn't. They wasn't. Okay? Karmelo was supposed to be there. Period. They said Karmelo, what is something else I seen? They said he was suspended. Oh, they said Karmelo had been in trouble before with having a knife. That is not a proven fact. Like these people just put out the weirdest chats. The weirdest chats ever. They didn't consider the epilepsy. They didn't consider Karmelo's shoulder injury that literally ended his football season. And even let me just give him a little bit of something. Put a little stank on it. Even with Karmelo having a significant shoulder injury that he had to have surgery on, he still got awarded 2 full college football scholarships with that injury. So that in my opinion, that speaks volumes to his talent, baby. That speaks volumes. You know how hard it is to get a scholarship, let alone get a full scholarship, and you done been injured? Child, listen. That baby had over 20 scholarship offers and was accepted into, I think they said either Morehouse or I think it was Morehouse, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, Miss Eugenia. Thank you for that red firework, my love. You said for being you, for using your platform to aid in the release one of our innocent babies. Much respect. Hashtag free Karmelo. Hashtag free that baby. Hashtag it could be any one of ours. Hashtag everybody would want the advocacy for their baby if their baby was in this situation. And it's sad, y'all. You know what makes it even more so sad is the fact that they knew this baby was gonna be great. They knew this baby was gonna be something in life. This baby was a honor roll student, 3.8 GPA, y'all. Captain of the football team, captain of the track team, saved the little boy from drowning when he was a child himself. Had 2 jobs. I think they say HEB and Foot Locker. Don't quote me if I'm mistaken, but he had 2 jobs. Every post his mama made, because I did my research. Every single post, and this was prior to this even happening. This is, just me looking at her page with Karmelo's upbringing to kind of get a feel of his character. Every single post, his mama was expressing gratitude for him being such a great child. Thank you, God. Couldn't have asked for a better son. Because y'all know, statistically, the streets is taking them. These YNs are out of control. They could have took anyone that's willing to throw their life away in these streets, but they want this one. And we ain't going. Sorry. Y'all can't have this one. Not willingly. Y'all can't have this one. Pick another one, okay? It's plenty of YNs out here that don't care. They'll go shoot your grandma's house up with you in it. Pick another one. Not this baby. This is a legal lynching. Shout out to, I don't know, I think was it Candace who first stated that? One of them, child. But we're not going. No. Mistakes happen, things happen, and I really believe in my heart that he was defending himself from bullies, a bunch of thick-ass kids, thick-ass privileged kids who always get their way, who could do anything and get out of trouble. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying it on the basis of Megan Metcalf getting herself on TikTok and laughing about the cheerleading situation, gloating. Oh, because Austin, he won't really, go toe to toe with a girl. But Hunter, on the other hand, you disrespect him, he's gonna, because his hands are bisexual, according to Hunter. He go toe to toe with your grandma, with your auntie, with your brother. His hands is bisexual, according to him. And let me take this down. 'Cause now we just having a little small talk. Wait, I got another thing to show y'all. Hold on. Let's not even get into the fact that this this has got to be some of the weirdest, creepiest shats I done ever heard. This guy's I hate to put it on a specific race, but the fact that this is his twin, right? The closest person allegedly to him. Ain't no way in hell if my twin or a sibling, I ain't even gonna say twin, let's say sibling, pass away, I'ma be driving their vehicle and I'ma be staying with their girlfriend. That is the most cringiest, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. I ain't never heard of Nathaniel like that before. Like, and his mind, bruh, I hope and pray they keep talking. Between her and Jeff, oh baby. Tell us more. Okay? Tell us more. We're listening. Ain't no way in hell. I didn't even know about the driving the brother's car. Now, at first, I heard about, the brother's truck. Why he don't have his own truck is the question. That's kind of interesting, seeing as how they the same age. They're twins. How did Austin have a vehicle, a truck? Didn't Hunter have one? Or because according to the streets, Austin was the favorite. According to the streets, Austin was the golden child. That's interesting, y'all. That's real interesting because, I'm not gonna say that. Let me shut up. Let me do a little more research. But that's kind of cringe. The mom got on TikTok and literally said right after Austin passed, Hunter was, he was going through it or whatever, and he couldn't stay at her home because he didn't want to see, every time he would go upstairs and see Austin's room, he would lose it, right? But according to the streets, Hunter wasn't even staying with her. The streets said Austin was living with the mom, Hunter was living with the dad, allegedly. Okay. So that's real interesting. And then the mom said, so, and you gotta pay attention to her stumbling over her words too. Because she said that, he started staying with Tatum. He stayed, for about a month because first of all, once she said he started staying with her and her family, I think everything else went out the window for people. Because why? With all that family that showed up to court, was there not any other family member he could have stayed with, including his dad, who he was already living with? Or like a friend, a homeboy? First of all, how the hell did her parents allow that? Is the question. How did her parents allow that? Ain't no ninja staying up under me with my daughter. Is you okay? Is that something that, like, is that some new school shit? Or I'm confused, y'all. 17, 16-year-old kids. Like, you got to remember, this is in 2025. Oh, no, I take that back because they said that the young lady was a senior. So what? She still had to be, 17? Unless she failed. That's interesting. I'm sorry. And if y'all notice, the mama even slipped up and said, he started sleeping with her, or it was something along those lines. The way she said it, and then she hurry up and switch her words up. Y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all seen the clip. She said something along those lines of he started sleeping with her, or and then she kind of stumbled over her words, but I was paying attention. I was paying attention because them stumbles, the truth be in them stumbles, child. Okay? Let me tell you something about God's conviction. The truth being, keep talking, Metcalfs. We listening. We listening, period. And I got something else I want to, while we here, because we got almost 600 in the building. So I'm going to show y'all something else. But let me show y'all what they was passing around the day Austin passed away. And thank you again, Miss Eugenia, for that red firework on the 4th of July. Thank you for that blessing, my love. You going to be considered the sponsor today. Shout out to Freezy. Thank you, my love. And thank you, Miss Dorothy. She sent me a cash out for some coffee. Y'all know, you can tell. Listen, my people know I love me some coffee, child. Okay, I got to have my coffee every day. Thank you, Miss Dorothy. Okay, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all what they was passing around. Open. I'm going to have to take some of this down. Hold on, y'all, because I got too much on my thing. Let me see what I want to take down. Let's take this down, this. Keep this up because I still never went over this shit. All right, I'm gonna leave the other stuff up. All right, let me show y'all this. Gotta be Nene, cause ain't no way in hell you is not finna stay up under my daughter. I don't care what you grieving. That's not finna go down like that, baby. Cause listen, shout out to Queen Sheba, but boys, they hormones be, oh no, we ain't doing that. That child, they already saying she pregnant. Allegedly. That's what the streets saying. I ain't saying she is. I'm saying what the streets is saying. Okay. So y'all, this was put up by an unnamed kid. Let's just say that. Y'all see the date on that? The date says April 2nd, 2025. Okay? Oh, let me take my girl down. Thank you again, Miss Eugenia. April 2nd, 2025. That's the day it happened, right? That's the day it happened. This was in one of the kids who lives in the area, goes to one of those schools, story on Instagram back in April, okay? April 2nd, 2025. The day it happened, notice it says April 2nd, 2025, 11:17 p.m. The incident happened that morning, between 9 a.m., 10 a.m. That's when it happened. So you got to know, once everything started settling down, the kids is talking. They already talking. They already spreading things. They doing their big one because that's how kids do. But kids are not like adults, y'all. They don't, us as adults, we mature. Well, at least some of us. Some of us we supposed to be mature, right? And the mindset is a little different. Kids don't look at death like adults do. We instantly sympathize, regardless of who the person was or unless they was a SMEX offender, or, a PDF file, registered something, registered vehicle. Yeah, no, we ain't sympathizing with them. May you rest in hell. Okay. But anything else outside of that, for the most part, we sympathize. Regardless of how we felt about that person, we'll be like, oh, God rest their soul. They were so young, something like that. Or prayers to the family, my condolences. But kids, on the other hand, they take everything for a joke. Kids take everything for a joke, including death. This is what they was passing around, y'all. Like I told y'all, April 2nd, 2025, 11:17 p.m. that night. They was sending his picture around. Somebody put, oh, hell no. What the F? Let's go out where you can see it. They even had a song playing. What's the song? I can't really see it. Let me see. The song Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. Y'all, I cannot. See, this is why I say kids don't take nothing serious. They had Tupac hit 'em up playing with this boy's picture in their story. Okay? Somebody said, whoever posted this said, oh, hell no, what the F? And then they put, I hope we learn a valuable lesson today. Don't break people's stuff and you'd still be alive, with laughing emojis and the 100 sign. Then they put, keep your hands to yourself, lil man. This is what them children was passing around the night after it happened that day. So this show, y'all, God, I need a Tylenol. I got a headache. I cannot, y'all. This just shows how these kids operate. I mean, that's the mindset of kids. Kids don't take things serious as adults do. Like, and the streets be talking. The streets be talking, but this just shows that if he was the kid that his parents is saying he was, I don't think the kids would have been spreading this around school. I don't think they would have been, not saying that, and I'm going to be fair, not saying that he didn't have love, because according to the streets also, Austin was the good one, y'all. That's what the streets saying. They say Hunter was that little bad motherfucker, okay? I'm about to let y'all hear something. Queen Sheba dropped some tea in her last live, and I'm about to play it for y'all. It's crazy. It is crazy. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me take my Tylenol real quick and I'm going to pull it up. 1 second, y'all. All right. Let me pull up Queen Sheba page. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Queen Sheba, darling. I hope she don't mind that I play this little clip from her live the other day. Okay, I think this is it. 2 days ago. Yep. Hold on. It's at the beginning. I think somebody said a 6-minute mark. Hold on. Hold up, y'all. Let me find it. I think that's it. Okay. Let me share it so y'all can see. Let's take this down. Come on. Okay, there you go. All right. Let me share my screen. Y'all, shout out to Queen Sheba for this tea. Because when I tell y'all that this was some tea, okay? If y'all didn't hear this was some tea. Imagine being in this position to hear this, first and foremost. What are the odds? Let's go. Let's play. And y'all know, for the ones in the back, anytime you playing somebody else's content as a creator, you have to stop and give commentary for fair use purposes. If you want to see this live in its entirety, you have to go on over to Queen Sheba's page, okay? Because that's for the ones who be saying, let the video play. Shut up. No, can't do that. Sorry. Let's go.
Karmelo Anthony fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf. So as the lady and myself got to know each other over the course of a few days on
I went too far. Hold on, y'all.
at all, Austin Metcalf did
Let's see. Hold on, y'all.
get his way. They let him in the
Hold up.
And I don't know Austin Metcalf. I don't know the Metcalfs. I don't know the Anthony family. But let me tell you what I do know. And let me tell you, I'm going to share something with you that happened in January of 2026 of this year, right? I went on a 7-day cruise. really nice cruise. And I met a really nice lady. I'm not going to say her name. And I don't know if I've shared this with you all before, this information with you all before. We hit it off very well. We were in a casino. We had a good time. We stayed up. Really nice lady from McKinney, Texas, the Frisco area. And she's actually an educator. Yep. At Memorial High School during that time. Now, I didn't really have the ins and the outs of the entire story. I mean,
Did y'all hear that? She ain't done yet, but I gotta stop. She said she went on a cruise. This is Queen Sheba talking. And Queen Sheba is credible. Okay. I believe her. And she's very fair. She ain't biased like me. She's very she's very fair, y'all. Okay. At least I'm honest. I might be a little biased, but I'm honest. But Queen Sheba went on a cruise in January of this year, 2026. She just so happened to be on the cruise with a teacher from Memorial High School that was actually Hunter and Austin's teacher. It was what the lady said. That's the teacher. Okay, let's go.
had a little bit of knowledge about the Carmelo Anthony trial, but I didn't know any details. I just knew that Carmelo Anthony fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf. So as the lady and myself got to know each other over the course of a few days on the cruise, she asked me, are you familiar with the Carmelo Anthony trial? I said, not really. I said, I heard a little bit about it. She said, yeah, I used to teach Austin. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. And his twin brother, his name is Hunter. I said, okay. And she goes on to describe Austin as being a really good kid. Listen, I'm telling you facts. A conversation I had. She had nothing but great things to say about Austin. And then she said something that made my jaw drop. She said, the problem with this case and the outrage is because he killed the wrong twin. She said, Hunter is the one that the people don't like. Hunter is the one that gives us a lot of problems. Hunter has a really bad reputation, not Austin so much. I don't have a dog in this fight. This is what a nice white woman told me. That's an educator, a constituent of Collin County. Those were her words, not mine. I don't know these kids. Didn't know these kids during that time. Didn't know the details, the ins and out, who was the aggressor, hadn't watched.
Okay, and we're going to stop it there, y'all. We're going to stop it there. And let me cook on that I'm dropping my headphone. Let me cook on that just a little bit, right? And we're going to take Queen Sheba off the screen. Shout out to Queen Sheba. If y'all didn't hear it, Queen Sheba said, and I repeat, she went on a cruise this year, January of 2026. Queen Sheba said at the time, she didn't know anything about this case outside of the general details that Karmelo had unalive Austin. She didn't know too much about the details until she started covering it. This was back in January. She said she just so happened to see a lady on the cruise that she got, kind of close with and was, kicking it with on the cruise. And the lady just so happened to be that was God's work right there. It was meant for her to meet up with that lady and that lady to start saying stuff. She said the lady actually asked her if she was familiar with the case. And then the lady started going into detail and, describing Austin as a great kid and this and that, no issues. And then she said that the problem and the outrage is that Karmelo unalived the wrong twin, basically saying it should have been Hunter. Now, what's crazy about that statement is I've seen like I say, the streets be talking, and a lot of people been saying that Hunter was the one that gave the parents the most hell, the most trouble, and it's kind of crazy because when you think about it, Hunter was the one that was said to be living with his daddy. Okay, so I'm gonna just sit that right there. One, and it's kind of um not unusual that when a child is giving a mom problems, they tend to go stay with the daddy, or the mama send them to go stay with the daddy. Austin stayed with the mom, Hunter stayed with the daddy, according to the streets. Okay, so that's not uncommon, but in this situation, um, even though people are saying that, the wrong twin was unalive or what have you, a lot of times God works in mysterious ways. Let's just say that first and foremost. And this could have been something that God did to open up Hunter's eyes. I seen people saying that Hunter got baptized after it happened, and more than once. I don't know how true that is, but the streets been talking. Okay, I don't know how true that is, but um, sometimes God do things to open your eyes up. God could have took his twin brother from him to wake him the hell up because he was going down the wrong path. God works in mysterious ways. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. And a lot of us have reason to believe that Hunter was the one who caused all of this. So the outcome could have very well have been his karma for his life path. Steps are already written. Everything happens for a reason. God don't always take people because, oh, they doing bad things and this and that. No, sometimes God take good people to teach the bad people a lesson. It's just the way of the world. Like I said, steps are already written in this thing called life. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen, period. Regardless of what you do. Regardless. We all have an expiration date. But it's just so unfortunate that it happened the way it happened, and this baby is getting all of the blame when he wasn't looking for trouble that day. He was, bruh, this baby was finna compete in the track meets. You really think he when he woke up that morning, he knew he was finna go to jail for murder or be arrested for murder? Like, knowing he's on the roster to compete at the track meet, was getting ready to go to college, working 2 jobs, and they wonder why we fighting for this baby. That baby's constitutional rights was violated up and down and around, period. Ain't no way in hell these people don't see that. That was not intentional. That was a quick split-second decision if he did it. Because the way these details is unfolding, child, you don't even know. And the reason why I say that too is because when you listen to that body cam, Karmelo initially was saying he's gonna be all right. As if he didn't do nothing severe, right? That would make you think he didn't do anything severe. He's not a little kid. He was 17 when this happened and very highly intelligent. And I say that because in his mind, whatever he did under that canopy to remove himself from danger, because that's what it was. He wasn't the provocateur. He wasn't the problem. He was the victim in that moment. Anytime you surrounded by multiple assailants that is bullying you, picking on you, putting their hands on you, taking your property, you are the victim. Period. Just because somebody lost their life does not mean that Karmelo was not the victim in that moment. I don't care what the people say, talking about what the courts say different. The courts is lying. Not the courts, the people. Let's not act like these are systems or just, actual things it's not the actual justice system. It's the people that's running it. It's the people that's running it. Ain't no way in hell. Imagine you put in a situation that you didn't ask for. Because remember, a witness even testified and bumped. Here's the thing, right? All of those kids that testified were constituents of those twins. Not now one of them kids was Karmelo's friend outside of Eddie's snake ass. But even he was a constituent / associate of those twins. So for the ones in the back who keep saying, well, it was black kids who testified also, as if that meant something. We seen a bunch of niggeros in the pool with them twins. That was cool with them twins. So that's supposed to mean something? So we supposed to say, oh, because they was black, that they was telling the truth? That's not how that go. That's not how that work. Period. So all of those witnesses that the prosecution put together, even the defense, child, at this point, because none of them were Karmelo's friends. And I stand on it. And you can tell by their testimony they wasn't his friend. You can tell by the testimonies what the prosecutor prepped them to say and what they said on their own free will, because they aligned. If y'all listen, if you ain't had no conversation with none of these kids, so that you can get your story in order, how is it that y'all saying very, very similar things? Oh, it was just a little shove, right? A little one-handed shove. Then you got other ones say it was a two-handed shove. Then you got some saying, oh, it wasn't, it didn't warrant Karmelo using a poker and stabbing Austin, right? Then you got, and mind you, none of their testimonies were consistent with what they said the very first day it happened. So for the ones in the back that keep saying, oh, 21 witnesses and he admitted to, miss us with that bullshit. Miss us with that. Because I'm not a believer in that type of Me Too movement. I don't care how many people saying the same story. Because guess what? 50 motherfuckers can lie. Just like one. Just like one. That's why you do your research and you vet and you comb through what everybody is saying. Just because you got 50 people that's saying something similar does not mean it's true. Just like one person can be paid off, so can 50. Just like one person can be strong-armed and threatened, so can 50. It's up to you to use your brain and your knowledge to, do your due diligence and comb through that thing to see, is this factual or are they pulling my arm? And based on what we've seen thus far with the lack of transparency and no transcript just off of mainstream media, this whole situation is a load of crap. A load of crap. And the fact that people still ignoring this, it was mind-boggling. I pray for y'all cheering. Y'all better make sure y'all little color cheering be perfect and getting into this real world, baby. Because don't come looking for us advocates for y'all little color cheering. You better go holler at them white folks, y'all licking ass. You better go holler at them. Go holler at them so they can advocate for y'all little color cheering if they get in some trouble or they think it's just sweet and they have a little 1-2 running with opposite gender. I mean, not gender, opposite race, right? Yeah. Holler at them. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Sid said Hunter sat right in front of Karmelo, even in the edit video when Karmelo ran up the bleachers. When Karmelo ran up the bleachers, Hunter ran right up the bleachers after Karmelo. If you look at the video, I already know that. Y'all, that when I say that the prosecution's video was spliced up, edited, manipulated, that's what I mean. They, it's scenes, it's different camera angles. So it's different clips, different scenes. They manipulated and put it in the order to make it seem like those twins was already there. But if you smart and you really paying attention to the way they set that up, that manipulated video up, you gonna be able to catch the play. Because what they saying does not match what's actually going on in that video. You just gotta pay attention. You just gotta pay, like Hunter then already said Karmelo was under their tent. Him and Austin was coming back from Emerson Middle School tent, catching up with the old coaches and blase. And then they walk up and this dude is sitting up under their tent. That's not consistent with them saying that Karmelo came up in the tent after the twins. Hunter then already told what happened. That's why I say, are we supposed to ignore that? That's not how they go. And it lets you know even further the fact that they didn't get the main witness of this situation on the stand. That further supports that they keeping the truth away from the justice system. That whole court case was a pile of lies in Mama Dia voice. A pile of lies. The truth was kept away from the witness stand. Period. Point blank. And I'm going to end it there. I love y'all. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with your girl. Y'all know I normally give y'all 2 hours, but I went almost to 3 because we had, the house was loaded. We had almost 600 people here. So I didn't want to just jump on y'all. I will be back tomorrow with another one after I do my little Sunday dinner. Okay, I'm finna do some red beans and some smoked meat. Yeah. I might do some cornbread too. I'ma see. But I'm gonna be back tomorrow with another one, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me for almost 3 hours. We had a packed house today. I hope y'all enjoyed the tea in this live, the breakdown, the receipts, the commentary, all of the above. Thank y'all for the overall support. Stay safe in these YouTube streets because these YouTube streets ain't safe, baby. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
Y'all know what time it is. The truth teller in the spot. Always bring the facts. Yeah, she make the fake stop. Stop clearing out the noise. Never let the lie rock. Nope. Say it with me loud. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Yeah. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Park, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Park, baby. Receipts on deck, she gon' air that out. Lil Park, wipe them down. If it's cap in the chat, she gon' call that out. Lil Park, wipe them down. Came with the proof, better watch it now. Lil Park, wipe them down. If it ain't fast, don't come around. Lil Park, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Lil Park, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Park, baby. She a Louisiana, my truth on black. Lil Park, wipe them down. Receipts so strong, but the lies won't let. Lil Park, wipe them down. When she step in the spot, all eyes on her. Lil Park, wipe them down. Expose real quick, make the face to turn. Lil Park, baby. Who got the truth? Lil Park. Who bring the proof? Lil Park. Hands to the left, hands to the right, wipe them down. Club lit up all night, wipe them down. Who got me? She OB. Lil Park, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Lil Park, baby. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. Wipe them down, pop. It's Lil Park, baby. Truth don't mean you gon' stand on that. Lil Park, wipe them down. Blocking the trolls, never looking back. Lil Park, wipe them down. Whole crowd move when the name get loud. Lil Park, wipe them down. She the voice of the people and she shut them down. Lil Park, baby. Truth too strong, wipe them down. Pop, pop. Crowds sing along, wipe them down. Pop, pop. From the booth, she a beast, wipe them down. Pop, pop. It's Lil Park, baby. Shut it down.